Dupree knows the offense. He's a silky smooth, fast receiver that gets downfield. He knows how to get open, and he knows how to make life easy for Dupree Bryant for the quarterback. Now, I'll tell you what, those two are huge for this Coatesville offense. The one thing you cannot take away from them is they are very balanced and can run the ball. So if anyone tries to defend them in the pass and they forget that running game, they'll make you pay.
Talk about running game, passing game. There will be defense involved. Number 3, Coatesville Red Raiders. Number 10, Harrisburg Cougars will be coming right up after kickoff.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
This month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. New 2019 Ford F-150 XLT, not $10,000 off, up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% financing for 72 months, and up to $7,000 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stellar Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
Welcome to Coatesville, Pennsylvania. I'm Todd McCall, Jerome Presley, Archie Smith Jr. down on the field. It's high school football season on ABC 27 and PCN Game of the Week. What a big matchup. Harrisburg, number 10 in the state, going to take on Coatesville, number 3 in the state, both 6A. Jerome, could it be a better way to start Friday night? Listen, the hot dog smells in the air, the band's playing. Take it away, my man. Friday night.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better situation. And I think both of these clubs want to come out. And again, the key to starting out early in the season, first game, is to limit mistakes.
Right.
Last year in the first game of the season, Harrisburg got behind the numbers with major mistakes early on, and it put Coatesville up, and they never relented. So, again, for Harrisburg, they're going to want to come out here. Since Coatesville deferred, Harrisburg is going to get the football, and they have to be productive on that first drive and not have any turnovers, because right now, it's early in the season. It's the first game. Nowadays, you don't see the 2-3 scrimmages anymore to prepare for a game. You have one. So you don't have that time to kind of fix some of those pieces. You're doing it on the fly.
Well, Harrisburg will have the ball. They're on the white-on-white uniforms tonight. White helmet, white jerseys, white pants, and the Redskins, the Coatesville Red Raiders coming out, and they're all black. And, one of the things we talked about as the season goes on is the opportunity. Once you see this first game, if you remember, just as you said, Harrisburg last year loses to Coatesville in the opener and comes back and wins every single game. They meet up in the Eastern Finals, and what happens? Harrisburg comes back to beat Coatesville 27-24 and go on to the state championship. So this game right here that you're watching tonight has become what I would call one of the bigger cross-state rivalries, Jerome.
And all of Coatesville is here. I mean, this
is packed.
I mean, this is an amazing campus. They've been welcoming to us. And our high school sports live crew, and again, just really good to come down here and see some good quality football from 2 big schools in Pennsylvania.
And just like that, we're underway. Harrisburg will have the ball. Trayvon Carey going on the left side. He'll go across the 20-yard line to 24-yard line. 5 make it. And Harrisburg will have the ball, and Coatesville going to try to get their fans behind it right away, early on. And they do bring the fans on the road or at home. Coatesville on the road and at home, really unprecedented. I mean, they are not losing many games in the 4 years under not only Coach Ortega, but under Ricky Ortega, the quarterback.
Yeah, I think both programs have produced just really good years the past 5-year period for both teams.
McNeil will be in shotgun formation. He'll have 2 twins to the right and 2 twins to the left. McNeil, the starter tonight, flips it out across the 20. What a great play and defensive tackle by DeMonte Reason, coming up and making a great hit. And that's what you love to see, being a former safety cornerback, Jerome, at the college level.
Yeah, you have to tackle. And that was one thing when you talked about the state semifinals. Harrisburg tackled very well in that game. So both of these teams, defense is going to be paramount. Their ability to shut down and get these offenses off the field.
Giving a left side to Plant. Plant very fast. Plant crossed the sideline down the 40-yard line and picking up coverage, or picking up a yardage, excuse me. It's 2nd down to 7 on that carry. And Plant has been one of those guys that's been nothing but dynamic, and we know what he can do with his legs. As Archie mentioned in our pregame, probably one of the fastest kids in the state of Pennsylvania right now.
And you'll see Harrisburg maybe move Plant around because they want to get him in the passing game also.
Shotgun again with trips to the far right. You can see it wide open. Coach Everett, Calvin Everett, head coach's team. It's going to be a keeper by McNeil. McNeil's going to cross the 45-yard line, make it 46 on that 1st down carry.
And again, we talked about the quarterback situation for Harrisburg. It narrowed down to 2 players, John McNeil and Akari Williams. And right now, McNeil is going to start out. You may see Akari pretty early, and they may go with a 2-quarterback system throughout. They both fared very well in the first scrimmage.
They try to go a quick hitter on the 2nd down to Kyle Williams, overthrown a little bit by McNeil, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 on the 46. Archie right away, Archie Smith. It appears that really Harrisburg's going to try to a lot of calls right at the line, no huddle right now.
That's the big test right now. You want to come out, you guys have been conditioning all summer long, so you want to come out and see what has Coatesville been doing. These guys are pushing the tempo right now.
Plant left side. Big pile, a lot of Coatesville tacklers, but it will move the chains, as Jerome indicated as well. That'll be a 1st down from Harrisburg. Right now, kind of an effective drive they got going for them, Jerome.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why is because they're basically going north-south. They're not doing anything tricky right now. They're trying to focus on ball security and just getting upfield, and they're making good plays that way.
They're going to try to get the hands in Dante Kent's hands as much as possible. Dante had 12 touchdowns last year, 861 yards, and we got our first penalty of the game. And we'll see what the call is on the field. Just waiting for a call, and I don't know, Jerome. I thought maybe I might have saw. Was there a block in the back?
Maybe I think you were talking about on the edge.
Yeah, on the
maybe
edge
a hold, but it wasn't called by the official.
It's going to be a personal foul call on Coatesville. Big early break. Archie Smith Jr., that's a big early break for Harrisburg Cougars on this drive.
Well, guys, what we're seeing right now, we're seeing the referees right now they're setting the precedent right now that they're not going to be doing with the foolishness. One of the Coatesville players got up with a little extracurricular after the play, and they flagged them. So they're setting the precedent right now that they would not tolerate any of that stuff.
It's 1st down and 10. Harrisburg looking very effective on this opening drive. McNeil rolling left. Looking downfield, throwing off his back foot. It's incomplete. He had his receiver and overthrew Carey on the play.
Yeah, and Carey has to bring that down. That was a good, well-designed play for the Cougars. One of the things you want to keep in mind for Harrisburg fans and fans back home, Harrisburg has had some adjustments on the offensive line. They lost lineman Lane Brannon earlier with a knee injury in the preseason, and that's a big hit for Harrisburg, as good as he was. So we hope for him to get healthy, but that's going to be an impact on his offensive line. He was a starter last year as a sophomore, and this was going to be a breakout year for him, or hopefully a breakout year, and he's not going to be a part of that line. So you have to adjust, and It's next man up mentality, Coach Everett said.
Well, that's going to go against Harrisburg, that last penalty. The last pass that was overthrown, that's Kyle Williams Jr. Actually, they got a true freshman playing, transferred from Susquehanna Township for Harrisburg. Trips far left, McNeil shotgun. Going to give to Plant left side, and boy, he's going to be wrapped up coming in to make the initial hit is Frank Johnson. He's a 190-pound junior, came up from the linebacker position and really put a big stick on the play.
Yeah, the Coatesville defense has historically been very stout. They're very difficult to do anything on, whether it's run or pass. They tackle well, they flow to the ball, and they're just very, very good players. So, again, Harrisburg is going to have to – it's not a problem to get 4 yards or 3 yards at a time and see if you can get that big one down the road. But positive yards is good.
McNeil looking downfield, has a receiver, and he has him. It's going to look like appears to be a touchdown for the Harrisburg Cougars. Rolled left, touchdown to Harold O'Neal, and just like that, but there are flags on the play. So before we get too excited, if you're a Cougar fan, there are flags down. McNeil rolls left, and it appears that it's going to be Harrisburg. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. on the. Archie had everything he wanted. I don't know, maybe a legal block on that left side.
Well, what you got is you can see that Harrisburg is going to keep McNeil on a rollout, and what you're going to be is they're going to get Jameer Plant when they hold him being the single back trying to. Well, actually, it was a legal chop block.
Chop block. That's what I thought I saw, and I believe it was Kyle Williams Jr. coming over. Looks like the replay. You'll see it maybe here in the screen. There'll be a chop block. We just kind of missed it.
What a chop block is if a lineman, offensive lineman, is engaged in a block, or any player is engaged in a block up high, someone else from the offense cannot low block.
Right.
That you do a high-low on someone, that's a penalty. And those are situations where kids get their knees blown out. They're engaged. They're fully engaged in a play and dealing with the offensive lineman, and another offensive player comes and low blocks them. So that's a safety rule that's important to keep kids safe, especially in the lower leg area.
That's going to back them way up on the third down. The ball will be on the 42-yard line. Our officials tonight are Dennis Dunn, Michael Rennie, Andy Keenan, Robert Tinsley, Lance Cash, George Makatich, and Tom Mullen are our officials tonight holding this game together. And we got another false start, and this is early what we're going to see. And literally, penalties will kill you early in the game. And now Harrisburg going the wrong direction. Really had nice, effective drive going, and that's really backing them up.
Yeah, they're 3rd and 81 on the turnpike. This is a long. I mean, now you go from a touchdown call back because of a penalty, 2 more penalties, and now you're 3rd and whatever, and just you don't have a play in the book for that. So your plan is to try to get back as much as you can so you can punt the ball. If you can get a break and get a big play, then go for it. But again, it puts you in a bad situation, and those are those mistakes that we were talking about earlier.
The Pennsylvania Cable Network bringing you key matchups from across PA all season with games of the week. Don't settle for just local games or highlights. Every Friday, watch the whole game on cable and stream TV live. The Pennsylvania Cable Network Select. Go to PCNTV.com for the full schedule. And we're going to keep bringing you these games. That pass was incomplete. And he had Plant downfield, Jerome.
Well, that was O'Neal. And I'll tell you, O'Neal has gotten behind the defense several times. I mean, I'm telling you what, he's been hard to reckon with outside on as that receiver. And he almost got all of that back on one play.
Just like that, Harrisburg will have to punt. I mean, he had such an effective drive. Carey's going to come on the punt.
But it shows you, Todd, how penalties, those early penalties that you're going to see in first games of the season, and how on the first drive it took Harrisburg from a scoring opportunity to backing them up.
That's going to be another false start on Harrisburg now. I mean, man, what looks so effective in this opening drive on the road. And as Archie mentioned, how effective it is to come out from the start for Harrisburg, and now they're going backwards, and that's going to frustrate the coach. And it looks like Harrisburg's going to take a timeout. And, you know, Jerome, I mean, when you look at I really was impressed with some of the play calling early. They're trying to catch Coatesville off of their game a bit early on, and very effective plays. I think they've done things well, rolling out and really catching big hitters because they've got so many guys in the secondary that can beat you, into their secondary in Harrisburg.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think it's going to be just big both ways.
All right. Harrisburg will have another opportunity to punt. And that's not going to go very far. It's going to go up at about the 50, almost blocked. And then it's going to take a Coatesville roll and have to be down pretty quickly by Lamar Whitfall. And Coatesville with Ricky Ortega starting his senior year with 769 yards, 102 touchdowns coming on the field to take his Coatesville Raiders. Ball will be spotted at the 37. With great field position. Man, you give Ricky this short field like this is good for Coatesville.
And again, they have the same situation of any team that's playing right now is the beginning of the game, trying to limit those turnovers or limit those mistakes and get your quarterback into a rhythm. O'Neal actually kind of got into a rhythm early, and then penalties negated that. So now Ortega's on the other side, wants to get himself into a rhythm, and once again, we now have a penalty on Coatesville's side.
Well, they had Bryant come with a jet sweep, and then there's a penalty. That's going to be a false start on Coatesville. That's going to move them back. That's our 6th penalty already of the game. And we kind of expected in our pregame as we talked off camera that, if you can limit turnovers in the game early season, it's a team that turns the ball over less and penalized. And sometimes you can almost call a penalty a turnover, Jerome. I mean, really, when you think about it.
Well, again, when you take away that second scrimmage, like teams had 2 scrimmages, now this game becomes kind of working out the kinks, and you now have a second penalty on Coatesville, very similar to what we saw with Harrisburg with the penalty bug.
2 plays, 2 penalties for Coatesville. And that's going to be a first down and 20. The ball will be spotted on the 42. And they're moving backwards right now. We're going to try to see as they settle their game plan down. Ortega's in shotgun formation. He'll have twins to the left and twins to the right and a single back. He will call plays at the line, audible. I mean, he is Coach Ortega's son, and I'm telling you, he's a coach. Ortega will keep it. This is where he's really dangerous. He'll keep it himself across the 50-yard line, and he'll be ripped down by the Cougars. Coming up to make the tackle is Danzy Jr.
And the one thing about Ortega is that he can run the ball. So, Harrisburg has to be watching that and keep an eye on that he can tuck it and go. So in that sense, Harrisburg played it pretty good, keeping him sound. Harrisburg north or east-west, north-south, they are a very quick defense. That's the one claim to fame they've had for 4 or 5 years now, is how strong defensively they've been.
Ortega shotgun, twins to right, or they'll do a quick pitch. Going down the sideline is Bryant. He will join. There's going to be a late flag. 2 flags come flying, and that's a late hit. It looks like it's going to be on Harrisburg.
Yeah, and that's a hard call for Harrisburg, because I thought they defensed Dupree very well. They were able to get wide and really box him in for a short gain, and now you're going to tack on 15 yards for a roughing, unnecessary roughness out of bounds penalty, which is not something that you want to start out with.
So 3 of the 4 plays resulting in penalties in this drive. Harrisburg penalized a little bit more right here. Coatesville 2 early penalties on their opening drive. But they'll have the ball on the 29-yard line, Coatesville. Really both teams just trying to find, I just thought that Harrisburg was in that early rhythm, but both of them need to settle down a little bit, as you see. Early game jitters maybe. And Jerome, you mentioned it. Pulling another scrimmage away from them and only give 1 scrimmage. I mean, this is tough to start the season that way, but that's how it is now in high school football in the state of Pennsylvania. Ortega going to keep himself. Going to go across the 25.
And Lemire Wigfall comes up and makes the play. And again, you're going to see a lot of new players. Both of these teams had heavy losses of seniors last year, so you're going to see a lot of guys that were waiting in the wings and waiting their turn. And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because many of these guys, the talent, when you're building these 2 programs, you have guys waiting in the wings, sophomores and juniors that have been itching for their opportunity. So they've been behind those guys that have been stars, and they want to be stars themselves.
It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 27 for Coatesville. Ortega back to pass, drops off down the sideline, across the 30-yard line, and still on his feet is Shamir Hall. And he'll be ripped out of bounds by the Cougars. Coming up to make that play is Danzy Jr.
And again, what you're seeing from Coatesville is the goal is to get Ortega in rhythm. So you're seeing a lot of swing passes from him. He hasn't really gone downfield. You get those completions up, get that confidence, where you need it. And of course, we know he's a confident player. But in this game, you want to get your quarterback in rhythm so that he can then take those big shots downfield to Dupree and some of the other receivers.
New back entering the game for Coatesville is Demetrius McLean Jackson. He'll be put in motion. Ortega will keep it up the middle in the draw, designed that way. And the Cougars looking tough again. That's one of the biggest things we fought last year. It's just they really came up when they needed to play defense. And let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. And Archie, Jerome and I and you talked a little bit about Harrisburg in the pregame, that defense they had. They lose some big guys last year, but man, they still are tough. They get after it.
Well, one thing, we're playing a versatile quarterback as Ortega. The defense of Harrisburg has to play and respond in every gap control. And playing a gap control defense is what can contain and elude a quarterback. This is a very interesting call for Coatesville to go for it right now, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. It's be 4th and 6. The ball on the 25-yard line, 6:50 to play here. Big play, big call, first drive, 7th play of this drive. And it looks like right now that Coatesville is going to want to take a timeout and talk about it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Well, 6:40 to play. Welcome back here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. 4th down and 6. Coatesville want to take a timeout to talk about it. Big play here. And I don't know, 4th and 6. Jerome, if you go into your playbook a little bit, what you might look here?
I mean, you can do a lot of things. You know, you'll see maybe short passes, swing passes to get your receivers out on the edge. Maybe hit something right at the sticks, right beyond the sticks. Or you take a shot here. I mean, you can do many things. The good thing is for Coatesville is you're on Harrisburg side of the field. So if you don't get the first down, it's kind of like, you know, a punt. You know, you got the ball, you got them pinned down in there around their 20-yard line. So no harm, no foul.
And that's good. That's going to be a penalty. I'll tell you, that was movement. That's going to go against, it's going to back up Coatesville. Now, there's some argument on who it is, but that was that left side of the line. And that's making it a little tougher for him now. So make it 4th and 11. Now the ball on the 30. Man, what's your play call here? You got 11 yards to the stick.
I mean, I think the same thing applies.
Down the field.
Again, you're on the Harrisburg side of the field, so it's as long as you don't turn the ball over or get a big play defensively on the other side, you should be in good shape if you don't get it here.
Ortega with time, looking downfield, as you said, and it'll be incomplete, and Harrisburg's going to take over for downs. They get their first stop, and Harrisburg will be happy about that. Kind of really, in a way, dodging a bullet a little bit there with that bad penalty.
Well, I think both of them did it. You see on one end, Harrisburg had a touchdown, called back because of the penalty, and here you had several penalties for Coatesville. So both teams kind of hurt themselves offensively due to penalties and stopped them from being able to get the ball in the end zone.
Vance PCN Game of the Week continues next Friday live at 7 p.m. at Bethlehem Catholic takes on Bethlehem Freedom. Catch the entire game on cable and stream with PCN Select. Visit PCNTV.com for the full schedule. First down and 10 for Harrisburg. The ball on the 30 with 6:35 to play. Low snap picked up. Plant right side. This is where he's dangerous. Down across the 40-yard line. And he'll be pushed out of bounds, moving the chains, picking up the first down. And I think right now that might be your play call. That might be a little bit of your bread and butter. Archie Smith, it looks like Plant might be able to carry this thing 20, 25 times tonight.
Well, what are you seeing now with a quarterback change right now? Now Coatesville has to watch the big arm, plus you got the speedy guy in the backfield.
There's a trips formation, far left, single receiver, cutting on the slant. The ball is thrown perfectly, spotted across the 40, almost the 40-yard line. And that's
and Archie talked about it. The difference in quarterbacks is you saw McNeil be a little bit more efficient as far as getting those 10 yards, but then he hit it deep. We know Akari Williams can throw deep. It's going to be the key is can the line protect and can the receivers get open deep?
There was some time for McNeil, but McNeil is going to be wrestled down and sacked, and that's a big play for the Redskins. Or no, actually, Akari Williams, as we said, checked in. And Williams looking downfield with the big arm and won't be able to play it because Lamir Brown was there in a hurry, the defensive lineman, the senior. He's 2'10", 6'1". Right here you see time with Williams. tries to tuck it a little too late. And look at a big sack, big play by the defender.
Well, again, Williams wants to go deep. He likes to go deep. And when you want to do that, you need time to set up to do that. And I think that's the one area where Williams, is going to have to check down quicker, have that clock in your head as a quarterback to know, hey, I got to get rid of this football. And right there, you saw Coatesville is not going to let you just sit back there all day and then throw a bomb on us. So they came with a little bit of pressure and got to Williams.
Well, Akari Williams started the season, as we remember last year at Harrisburg, transferred over to Still High and did some wonderful things. We were more than impressed with what we saw from our game with Akari Williams. So he's getting his opportunity here, 2nd and 18 on the 49-yard line. And I'm telling you, fans, he is one athletic kid with a long arm. I tell you, Jerome, we've seen this kid throw that ball 60-plus yards in the air. Big old arm in Akari Williams.
And accurate.
Gets a chance. Very accurate. You got twins left, twins right for Williams. Williams going to do a quick one. Punches it out to Carey. And that might be that just, getting him in rhythm too as well. Coming up to make the tackle was John Ruttman. He's a senior, 200 pounds. Engler and Williams and Johnson, along with Bryant starting both ways, and that's going to be a penalty. Bryant starting both ways on defense, and you see some of your best athletes out here playing both ways, and that's very common in the state of Pennsylvania. Getting a little less common than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, many times you see these huge rosters and coaches and guys are skill position trained and not necessarily trained defense and offense. So you don't see it as much, but sometimes you have athletes that are so good. And I think you're going to have another chop block situation for Harrisburg.
I tell you, it was chop block. I also saw a hold. There was a couple penalties I think could be called there. Williams will be taken down or wrestled down. And coming up to make the play was Nazir Locke, 200-pound senior, 6 foot, coming up to make a great play, chasing him down with a couple other Red Raiders as well.
Well, again, you're seeing both teams have a little bit of success, but then that success gets negated due to mistakes. And you see it again on Harrisburg. Harrisburg's first drive, mistakes. Coatesville's first drive, mistakes. Harrisburg's second drive, mistakes. Both times they were able to move the ball, and then they had mistakes that negated a lot of the work that they did do.
Fans, PCN tees off its PIAA championship coverage with individual golf championships. They continue with soccer, field hockey, girls volleyball, cross country, and football. You can watch all these PIAA championships on PCN TV. So it'll be 4th down, 25. Obviously, the Cougars on for a punting situation. And not getting a whole lot in that punting game last year. That was a little bit of trouble for Harrisburg too, but it's going to take a roll. And look at that. I mean, actually turned out to be something. I mean, went straight up in the air, Jerome, and I've never seen a roll on a punt like that. I have some familiarity with punting and kicking, and I had a few of those in my career as well.
You were even a quarterback for
I was a quarterback.
Second.
One game. I came in through 3 picks. First one went pick 6, and coach said, I think we're going to move you to receiver. I said, Coach,
and then
I think
you
that's a
became
good
a basketball star.
Basketball is where it went after.
So you didn't have the fortitude to keep going.
Oh, man. But I get a chance to work with 2 great football players in Archie Smith Jr. and Jerome Presley, who make me feel very good about my small opportunity at quarterback. I remember telling Coach it was just the wrong read. It's the last time I ever talked about reading with him ever again. Shotgun formation, twins to the left, right side, but it's a keeper around the right side. And I just think, getting Ricky involved, that's what Coatesville is going to do tonight. I mean, here's a kid who's thrown 102 touchdowns in his career. And I mean, Jerome, a good year could be 10, 12. Yeah. 102. Look at the average over the 3 years. He's a senior with 7,000 yards, 8,000 really, just under 8,000 mark. This year, it's quite possibly he might be the #1 in all categories in the state of Pennsylvania. And think about some of the quarterbacks we've talked about. Dan Marino, Kelly. I mean, the list will go on in Pennsylvania quarterback. Joe Montana.
And there you see that balance from Coatesville. So they're going to try to run the ball and not put it just on Ortega's shoulders. And again, I think what makes him a special quarterback, and you're seeing this across the landscape of high school football, is these quarterbacks are learning advanced concepts at a younger age.
Right.
And you're seeing more true freshmen entering college. that are starting than I think you've ever seen before. And not only starting, producing and getting to championships.
It's unbelievable.
Because of these quarterbacks learning those concepts early. You have the revolution of the spread offense that has taken every level of football by storm, and you just learn the concepts all the way through.
Rolling right. Ortega going to keep it. And will he get to the marker? Very close, just shy, a couple yards shy of it. But that's where he's going to hurt you. And I think one of the things I'm seeing right now is the increase in his speed. I feel like his physical size, he's gotten bigger, but his speed, you can see that he's definitely did a lot of agility stuff this past summer, and I feel like Ricky's speed has stepped up.
And you need your speed against this defense for Harrisburg because they are a fast defense. They react very quickly. And, I mean, you saw it, we've seen it year after year after year where teams have a hard time getting big plays on Harrisburg's defense. So you got to have that speed, and Coatesville has a field of it too. So this is just a field of speed players from both programs.
Give this to McLean Jackson.
And you saw Tyshawn Black, the sophomore, 6'1", 290 defensive tackle, just shut the door on the defense. And again, those young players, we were talking about younger players stepping up, guys that weren't household names last year that are sophomores, juniors this year they're coming in to make their name. And we'll see at the end of the season where they are and see the maturation in all those players on both teams.
That's something we always look forward to as the season develops and maturity develops with each play. 3rd down and 2, 3:50 here in the first quarter. Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Quick pitch to Dupree. Dupree left side. And that's going to move the chains, and Coatesville will have a 1st down.
And there you go, Dupree getting some operating from the running back position. And one of the things that I liked about what you saw, no wasted movement there. So I know one of the things I wanted to run to Archie was Archie got a chance to talk to both coaches, and they talked a lot about their youth. Right. What were some of the things they said?
We'll go down to Archie in a few moments. Twins to the right, twins to the left. Ortega shotgun formation. Looking right, got the draw set up perfectly across the 50-yard line. Perry shy of the 40, but ripped down. And then the play was set up almost beautifully for Coatesville.
Yeah, that was a middle screen, and you saw the penetration. That's what you want to get. The one thing about Harrisburg is they are going to penetrate. They're coming for your quarterback. So you use that penetration against them, drop the ball right behind them in a middle screen, and there you're able to get positive yards and get close to a 1st down on 1st down.
It'll be a 2nd and 1, just shy of it. About a yard shy. The ball spotted on the 43-yard line for Coatesville. Number 3, we said, versus number 10 in 6A. And the door to the state championship has gone through both of these teams, and you've got to just give hats off the coaching staff on both sides, the Cougars and the Red Raiders. Ortega nothing much and up the middle, and that's a tough place to run against that Harrisburg Cougar defense. And again, we're seeing some really impressive play from the Cougars. Coming up to make that tackle was Shaquan Carter-Barton. He was a leading tackler last year, 230 pounds, 6'2". He was just one of those kids that they were counting on so much for this year, especially with the loss of like Jai Burney and some of the Harrisburg Cougars from last year.
Yeah, and you got Henderson around the ball. You got Bruce around the ball as well. So you had a combination of players. And again, that Harrisburg swarming defense. And again, let's talk about the defenses. We have mistakes, of course, but both of these defenses have come to play. And again, it's not uncommon to see the defense ahead of the offense in the early part of the season, especially the first game.
Looks like movement again against Coatesville in motion. They're just trying to get that jet sweep or getting that motion out of that receiver, DeMonte Reason. Could be a false start. Movement looked like on the left side. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. Archie, we're seeing some trouble on that offensive line for Coatesville right now.
There was one big key when you guys was talking about earlier when I talked with both of the coaches, they wasn't talking about the main key guys that we talked to already. What these guys was talking about was the guys that they're going to need to step up to fill these shoes. The juniors, the sophomores, these guys are first-time starters in a big game on Friday night as such. So you see these type of penalties and these type of mistakes from these young guys.
3rd and 7, ball on the 49. Ortega with plenty of time, slings it out. to the markers, and he picks up a first down, and that will be Dupree Bryant.
And you saw a crisp, clean route from Dupree Bryant, and that's what you want to do on those deep outs. As a receiver, you want to run that cornerback off, get those hips turned, and then you make a sharp beeline to the outside. That is such a hard play to cover and an extremely hard play as a quarterback to throw. You have to have that throw on a rope. That's one of the hardest passes for a quarterback to throw, is that deep out on the outside.
Ortega's short a player, I think. He's short a player on that right side. They'll get him on the field, but it's not going to be in time. So it's going to have to be a timeout by Coatesville. And you saw, well, we'll be right back with more to come after these messages.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
Look at the crowd at Coatesville tonight. This is what we talked about. Welcome back to Coatesville. And if you do not think for a split second that they are serious about their football here at Coatesville, look at this fan section. Now, right here is a student body that loves their Red Raiders.
Yeah, like I said, the whole town of Coatesville is here, and that's what you get for high school football. And we knew this was going to be huge. You know, what they feel, the fans feel the same thing that the players felt last year. Their last game was a loss in Hershey Stadium coming off the field in that state semifinal game. So this is big.
Ortega with time. Dumps off. Hall across the 25-yard line, giving them an opportunity with 59 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And now a little steady movement by the Red Raiders.
And that's the one thing for Harrisburg. You're not going to want to have Ricky Ortega sit back and just be able to pick a zone apart. He is polished enough to do that, and he's going to take what you give him.
So it'll be 1st and 10 on the 24. We do have flags down. Taking a little bit of time to get this play to develop. Lining it up here. 1st and 10, ball on the 24. For Ortega, moving with some authority now is the Red Raiders. They got a singles that kind of trips here to the left side in that single back. He's going to look at Bryant. Bryant's going to cross the 20-yard line, stay on his feet, down to the 10, just shy of the 10-yard line.
And right now, you're seeing Coatesville have a lot of success with spreading the Harrisburg defense out. They're hitting them in these pockets, and they're getting the ball into their receivers and their playmakers with the ability to get upfield. And as you can see, they're dialing up Dupree Bryant's number a lot. We're giving the ball to him in a running game, giving it to him in a passing game, and he's touching the ball a lot.
You saw how shifty he was. He made one move to bounce out to pick up 10 more yards. 2nd and 1, ball on the 15-yard line in the red zone for the Red Raiders. Ortega will keep it. Spin move, crossing the 5-yard line, staying on his feet, down to the 3. Giving the Red Raiders, as you hear the fans getting behind him, knocking on the door.
And that was just good, solid playing from Ortega, taking the ball, pulling it out in the read option and getting upfield and just being shifty. And that is the strength that you were talking about, that you could tell he's hit the weight room, and you can tell that he's a lot stronger. He's not easy to bring down as a quarterback.
So it'll be 1st down, 4 from the 4. And I don't know if they're going to get this play off before the end of the quarter here. Going to get it off. Give Perry on the left side. And Coatesville's going to knock on the door. Touchdown, Red Raiders. No, wait a minute. Taken down. I thought he got across the goal line.
I think he was just shy of the end zone, so that'll put him at probably about the 1.5-yard line.
So it'll be McLean Jackson shy. I thought he got across. We'll be right back with second quarter action coming up after these messages.
My father years ago told me, own your own business. That was my inspiration. And February 1st of 1996, we opened up as Capital Region Insurance Agency.
Throughout my entire life, seeing my dad how successful he was and learning the way he was actually able to communicate with people and help them, whatever their needs may be, it made me want to get more involved. I'm most proud of helping continue my dad's legacy, helping the surrounding communities, businesses, and families.
We try to wow our customers, let them know that we are here for them. If they can't get into our office, we would take the time and go visit them. This really differentiates ourselves from the 1-800 who do you get? Whether it's financial services, auto, home, life, commercial, we hold their hands, bring them through the process. We let them understand that we know what we're doing and they feel comfortable when they leave here.
I think it makes it more personal and more family-oriented, definitely more of a friendly environment.
What I'm most proud of is the hard work, and it's enabled me to ensure clients, to provide protection for them, to let them sleep well at night.
Welcome back. Coatesville will have the ball on the 1-yard line. Advanced Hoops is running fall intensity training classes in South Central Pennsylvania as players from all over the Mid-State will travel to train with Advanced Hoops. Go to advancedhoops.com to see that each group has a chance for players to compete in 5-on-5 competition classes. Every class has a crossover intensity dribble of 30 minutes. Want more information? Go to advancedhoops.com. So it'll be 2nd down and 2 from the 2-yard line for Coatesville, knocking the door to start the second quarter here. And a beautiful night on college or high school football, and there will be nothing there. The Cougars coming up being very stingy on the goal line. Ortega will be taken down. What a great play defensively.
And Archie talked about keys and defense reading their keys. And you saw defenders reading their keys on both sides of the read option. You saw the running back getting demolished by about 4 Cougars, and you saw about 3 hit the quarterback. So that's how you want. If you play your keys right, you'll be able to do what you need to do. Now that doesn't mean that you don't have guys on the other side that's trying to make you make a mistake on that or block you out of the play. But that was a win for Harrisburg on the 1-yard line.
So it'll be 3rd and 3. Ball on the 3-yard line. Take a rolling right. Avoids one defender, throws in the back of his own, touchdown, hits Dupree Bryant. And just like that, Coatesville strikes 3 yards out. Ortega to his favorite receiver. Both these guys are going to hook up next year at Villanova, both signed together. And that is not going to be a touchdown. There was no signal now.
Good flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play, and that's exactly why.
Yeah, you were talking about the two of them. They're verbally committed to Villanova to play together, and that's a big treat for a quarterback and receiver to have familiarity with each other going to college together. And the goal is going to be for them to step on campus and try to beat out all the other guys. I mean, you figure you go to campus, everybody's there. They were stars. So again, they're going to have a little edge because they're familiar. Most of the receivers there aren't going to have their high school quarterback with them. So Dupree Bryant is going to have his quarterback, and his quarterback, Ricky Ortega, is going to have his receiver. So that's going to be a big plus for those guys going to Villanova next year.
So they're still trying to iron out everything going on here on the field.
What we had, guys, was a legal man down the field. When you have Ortega sprinting out, those linemen team to creep up the field, and the lineman was down the field, which resulted in that penalty.
Yep.
All right, Archie, on that, we appreciate it. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Ortega with some time, looking, end zone, overthrown, incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
And back to what Archie said, all indications were that Ortega was going to tuck it and run because there's a clock. There's a clock running in those offensive linemen. And you hear, I mean, you get that much time going, you're thinking, oh, it hasn't been thrown. My quarterback's going to tuck and run. Ortega does run the ball. Somebody got upfield, and then right at the last minute, he pulls up and throws a pass, which was brilliant on his part, but his lineman wasn't on the same page with him.
Well, we're going to have an attempt at a field goal here 25 yards out. Pierce Hazard is the kicker. And on the hold, it hit the upright on the left side, but there was movement. Dion Marino had to hold. but it's going to be incomplete just off the post. I mean, he had plenty enough foot on it.
Now, the thing is, the
it.
defense can move. They just can't move over the line of scrimmage or have an encroachment kind of a foul. So movement in the defense doesn't mean they went off sides in any way. So I guess in that situation, the officials did not call that. In Harrisburg, what a big hold for them to not give up points on the 1 yard line, and they held. So again, both of these teams, mistakes on both sides, some big plays on offense as well, and a lot of penalties so far to open up this season in Coatesville between these two powerhouses.
Harrisburg will have the ball back, and man, I tell you what, their backs were against the wall. They had the ball on their 2 yard line. I mean, Coatesville had an opportunity knocking on the door, got called back. They get a hold out of this. Kyle Williams Jr. on the catch, crossing the 25-yard line. He's just a freshman, taken down by Dupree Bryant.
And McNeil is back in the game at quarterback, and it seems like you're going to see this tag team between Williams and McNeil handing over duties. And McNeil actually fared very well in that first drive he had before the penalties took it away from him. So we'll see if he can come back in and keep that momentum going.
It'll be 2nd down and 3 from the 27-yard line. Looking sideline, get the direct play from the coordinator. McNeil taking his time. Twins left, twins right. Looks left, looks right. Pass is complete. And I'm telling you, they are now getting in the rhythm, and they're catching Coatesville off the ball, really, to be honest with you. That's Kamir Day, the senior. He's 5'11", 170 pounds on the catch. His first catch of the night.
And Big Roy Irvin's helmet came off, so he has to come off the play, come off the field for a play. So again, that's a big thing to keep an eye on when you see offensive tackles have to leave or offensive linemen leave the game because of a helmet coming off.
Well, McNeil went with a hard snap, hard call, hard cadence, and it's going to be the defense jumping, and that's going to move the ball for Harrisburg. 1st and 5, they'll cross the 45-yard line now. 9:56 to play. Stay tuned for our halftime report. We'll have some inside analysis. Archie will be joining us in the booth along with Jerome Presley. We'll break down what we saw in the first half and keys for the second half. 1st down and 5, ball on the 45. McNeil, time, slinging it downfield. Has a receiver, it's complete. Crossing the 20-yard line to 15 and down just shy of the 10-yard line. What a pickup.
Here is what makes this play so impressive. McNeil had the defensive line bearing down on him. Still stood in. You see from the replay, he stands in knowing he's going to get hit and delivers a bomb of a play. So that was good poise on the quarterback. And I'll tell you what, he is showing right now some really good poise for that position for Harrisburg.
Big hookup, and that was Day on the catch. On the coverage was Shamir Hall. And now that ball was underthrown, but what an adjustment also that Day made to come back and get the ball.
It was kind of a back shoulder. The one thing about it being underthrown wasn't a bad thing because the defensive back wasn't even looking for the ball. So in that sense, everything was on the receiver.
Plant coming left side, and great defensive play up front by the Red Raiders.
Now, the key for Harrisburg is they don't want to go stale here. They want to be able to punch this in and get on the board, which will be huge for Harrisburg to get up 7-0 if they can get on the board here. So big play here for both teams.
3rd down 8. Ball on the 12. Fake to Plant. Carey with the catch across the 10-yard line at the 8-yard line. Harrisburg with an opportunity here now.
That'll be about a 4th and 4, and that's manageable. Your whole play call is up. And the one thing I will say is Carey got north-south. He didn't waste too much time because that could have been a loss if he would have wasted too much time. But he got north-south pretty quickly, got a couple of yards. 4th and 4 is manageable for this Cougar team. They still have the playbook available.
Trips to the right and a single receiver. Plants the lone back. McNeil, shotgun formation, backing up. Rolling left across the 10-yard line, keep it across the 5. He'll be knocked out of bounds. Coming up to make the tackle is Barthmeyer, Connor Barthmeyer. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds.
And it looks like this is going to be close, but I think Coatesville will get the ball. So that'll be a big hold for Coatesville on the play. I mean, that was just good defense, good pressure, good penetration from that Harrisburg or that Coatesville defense which forced McNeil to have to tuck it and run, and he wasn't able to get the first down. So holding, both teams defensively held deep in their own territory.
So we could say we really have been impressed with several things, but in particular in the trenches, both defensive sides. Hats off the Red Raiders and the Cougars. A defensive effort. Both teams have had their backs against the wall with opportunities to be scored upon, and they come up strong. That was just shy of the marker, though. I tell you, I thought he had the first down. He didn't get it. First down and 10, ball on the 5-yard line. They're backed up on their own 5, are the Red Raiders. Ortega looking for something to get this team clicking. He'll give to McLean Jackson. Not much there. Coming up on the left side, making a tackle. Big number 52, Jameer Henderson's a junior. He's 230-pound offensive lineman for the Cougars. And they are not shy of good size up front.
Yeah, and again, both of these defenses have shown a bend but don't break persona. I mean, they both have given up some big plays here. They both capitalized on some of the mistakes that the offenses have made, but then when it came time to dig in the trenches, they both came up big. So again, the defenses are showing right now pretty well for both teams.
2nd and 10. Ortega going to keep it himself, trying to find anything across the middle of that field. And I tell you, when you're running again in the middle of the field, you got Khalil Warren, number 53, a senior. He's 275. I mean, the size up front. Henderson's 235 for the Cougars. I mean, then, you know, a guy that doesn't get mentioned very often is from that defensive inside. Wickfall goes 210 himself there for the Cougars.
Yeah, and they've always had some good-sized kids there in Harrisburg as well as Coatesville, and you see off-season programs that are so much more robust now than they were years ago, and the off-season is longer. I mean, you see guys are committing to football a little more than other sports, and I think that's a problem area for some to see kids just play one sport.
What an absolute great play call. A shuffle pass, design kind of draw. Then he crosses the 20. Then what you get? You get a penalty by Harrisburg, giving the momentum to the Coatesville.
Well, again, it seems like it wasn't a design play. I think it was one of those situations where Ortega was under pressure, and then he kept his composure, was able to flick it. Good pickup, but then the attack on a penalty, which makes it even worse for Harrisburg, and they give up a big play as a result of that penalty.
And that personal foul. And the only reason why I thought that might have been designed for a second, it looked like they set up the screen on the left side for a minute, and it was a cross on the
I just think that pressure sped the whole thing up. So it was one of those things that wasn't supposed to be a shuffle pass. I think that was supposed to be just a regular pass, but then that pressure came right in his face.
And you see where the penalty came from Danzy Jr. He went helmet to helmet, and that is going to move it. You know, that's one thing that's not allowed at any level anymore, you know, and that's great. First down and 10, ball on the 40. Ortega with time. Pass on the money to Burgess. Artie Burgess, 5'11", 165 senior, crosses the 50-yard line in movement for the Red Raiders.
And it looks like Harold O'Neal for Harrisburg is down, the senior. I think he did get back up again, though. So we saw when you give Ortega time, he's going to do what he does. He's going to pick you apart, especially you're zoned up. You have to get some pressure on him, which is one of Harrisburg's forte, is getting pressure.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball on the 47. .550 to play. Quick pitch to Bryant. Bryant left side, legs moving. Going to be shy of that marker, almost picking up the first down, just shy of it by about a yard.
And I'll tell you, I do like Bryant. I do like Bryant in the backfield. I mean, I have to say, with his speed and quickness and his shiftiness, he's showing that as a receiver, he can do it as a receiver and as a running back. And I like the way the Coatesville coaching staff is giving him the ball. They're finding ways to get him the ball.
It'll be 2nd and 1. Ball on the 38-yard line, 5:15. Come up, stay tuned. Right before half, we'll have our halftime report. We'll also come back with our inside analysis. Archie Smith Jr. will be joining us up in the booth as well. So McLean Jackson's going to move the chains. It'll be first down for the Red Raiders. Coming up to make that tackle is Everett Evans, the senior, 5'10", 230 pounds. I'll tell you what, when you think about some of the games that we have coming up, I mean, next week we'll have Coatesville on the road. Or not next week. We're off next week with a bye week, September 6th. We've got Coatesville at Cumberland Valley traveling on the road. That should be a good one. Good matchup a couple years ago.
And a resurging Cumberland Valley. The key is, I mean, they had a really down year last year, and they're going to want to definitely come back. They're starting out tonight against Bishop McDevitt. So that's going to be a big game for Cumberland Valley as they get tuned up for next week against Coatesville.
Pass was incomplete. The intended receivers was Shamir Hall.
And I'll tell you, Ty, we talked about Harrisburg. Harrisburg's first month of the season is on the road. Next week, they travel to Ohio to face Bishop Hoban. I mean, one of the top-ranked, number 19th ranked teams in USA Today. So Harrisburg's schedule, they are not mincing words with anybody. They're saying, oh, we're going to play whoever. So they're going to travel to Ohio. So we're not going to get a chance to see Harrisburg back home for almost a month.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ortega looking downfield. He'll be taken down, and there's going to be a penalty. I'm not making a great play, though, is Dontel Evans. Let's go down to Archie Smith. Archie, I did not see the penalty, what it might be. We're taking another look at it again.
I think it might be holding on the backside, which will be our left tackle. But one interesting thing, guys, you can see a bunch of checkers going on right now. You see a bunch of substitutions. As you can see, remember we talked about our keys before, subbing in the young guys. You can see the young guys. There's a lot of defensive guys that are playing on the Harrisburg defensive line, and there's a lot of different substitution combinations that's coming in on the offensive line for Coatesville. This is an interesting matchup to watch for the rest of the game, guys.
And you talk about that defense. I mean, Harrisburg, they reloaded this defense. That's Dontel Evans, a junior from that defensive end position, closed down Ortega right there on that play. So you're seeing guys that were on the bench last year, that were playing spot duty last year, that are now counted on to be big players for Harrisburg.
Ortega just doing some nice movement, rolling to his left, crossing the 30-yard line is Jordan Angler. Nice catch, nice play, and that's just Ortega just craftiness to make something happen where it's not.
And I'll tell you what, look at the linebacker for Harrisburg. And this is what happens when you have a athlete at quarterback that's a really good player that beats a very good defensive play. So you see Ortega ad-lib, he does a spin move and then able to shuffle past that for a big, almost a first down that saved the sack. And that's what you're going to get from Harrisburg. You're going to get immediate pressure. Many quarterbacks in that instant, they're going down.
Right.
Ortega, because of his ability and his savviness, he's able to spin out of it, buy himself some time, and get downfield. That's why he's the player he is.
And Wickfield came in the stunt on a full-out blitz, and he was in Ortega's face. And he made it. Oh, ball almost fumbled, and it is fumbled, and Harrisburg's going to come back. No, I think Ricky came in, and Ortega did come back to get the ball. Now let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. It's a pile-up down there. They say Harrisburg ball,
wow.
Archie.
Hey, one thing that's interesting, and I know it's not a challenge here in high school, but I think that was like a forward pass coming out of the backfield with the running back being in front of it. But with that one drop and both guys playing the ball, Harrisburg comes up with it.
So he did shuffle, and I thought that the Free Bryant was a yard ahead of him.
If you go back to it, you can see it's like a shovel pass option. You can either shovel to the running back or the receiver coming underneath, which was a great play call.
I think he's right. Archie's right on that.
I'm not sure. I mean, the way I saw it was a lateral, and it was close to the line of scrimmage, but it was a lateral, and then it was dropped, which would be a fumble. So, but again, it's one of those situations that you're thinking that the official's there, and that's why I'm not an official.
I'm glad I'm not either. My eyes are a little bad.
Hey guys, one question: do you think that it will ever be challenge flags in high school?
I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because not every high school, that means every high school is going to have some type of video situation, and not every high school financially is equal. Right. So, that's a lot of equipment that high schools will have to have. Many have it, but I don't think all of them do.
Right.
And that would be a disadvantage. And they won't do that unless every school could do it, or unless an outside company or agency sponsors that for every high school in America.
Right.
So I would think no. Do I think it would be a good thing? Yeah. I mean, I don't see any problem with that. But you see colleges make a lot of money. Many of them do. And in the pros, we know professionally the kind of money they make. So that equipment, somebody has to fund that.
Well, we got our quarterback exchange going back here. Look at this play here. Williams is back in the game. Akari Williams connecting to Kamir Day. Day has beat the secondary of Coatesville a couple times. And that's a pickup and moving the chains. First down for Harrisburg. And now again, here we go. Quarterback conduct by committee. Akari Williams getting his chance. This is his second opportunity to drive. And we're going to have flags because Kyle Williams Jr. is going to jump early, number 14.
Well, you get the flag, but the one thing, there are positives and negatives to running a dual quarterback situation. I mean, the positives, you get to maximize their individual strengths because they're going to have different strengths. So the defense is going to see two different variations of an offense at times. The difficulty is what you're seeing. The cadence changes. No two quarterbacks have the same cadence, so you'll have off sides because you get used to one, you get used to another. And then the other is, are they getting in rhythm? Do they have enough time to get in rhythm? So they have to actually get in rhythm on their drive. They get in the rhythm, and then on the next drive, they're not in. So I think there's positives and negatives. I think these two quarterbacks are very close as far as their talent level. I think O'Neal so far has shown a little bit more than Akari Williams, but Akari may not have had some of the opportunities.
Boy, Plant on the catch there. And, man, you see the hit that was just made by Carey playing both ways. We've called Carey's name out a lot as a receiver. And then take that back. That's Shockley, Prophet Shockley, coming up to make the tackle on Carey. And wow, what a play from Plant, actually, the running back. You'll see Plant coming out of the backfield. Look at this hit right here, Jerome. He fought off Williams, the block, and boom, it made a great tackle.
And that took too long to develop. It was a swing pass that needed to be a little bit quicker so you can give your guy some time to make a play.
Akari Williams rolling out right. Receiver looks like some real miscommunication in that secondary, and that's Carey. Crossing just shy of the 20-yard line, 1:37 right before half. Will it be Harrisburg who's knocking on the door now, maybe get the early score here, or late score in the second quarter?
And Carey just kind of was missed. I think somebody just forgot where he was, and he just kind of sat down, and bam, he's wide open and able to get upfield, and Williams finds him. So now you're starting to see Williams kind of pick up and get a rhythm from the quarterback position.
It'll be 1st and 10. Williams dump. And there's just a big struggle between Carey and Dupree Bryant on that side.
Well, again, once a quarterback gets a few receptions under his belt, and again, you know that Coach Everett he knows what each player does best. You want both of them to master the playbook. But they each are going to have their strengths, and you're seeing the strengths of each quarterback. And one of the things is we talk about Williams throwing deep, but McNeil has been throwing deep a little bit more. He's gotten downfield more in his passes than Williams has. So you're seeing both of them show some different things between the two quarterbacks.
That's Carey again. That's 3 straight catches for Carey in this drive. Play action, look at this, just a dump. The ball wasn't thrown real well. Kind of ducked a little bit, but pitch and catch made. 3rd down and 3, ball on the 16-yard line, which is 34 seconds to play. Harrisburg with an opportunity here right before half. Williams, man, surrounded. He gets away, actually, and fumbles the ball, but Harrisburg will come back. I don't know who came in to make that hit, but I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, was Frank Johnson. Came up and put a helmet on the ball, and the ball popped out of Williams' hand, and Harrisburg lucky to recover
They're
that.
Fortunate because that could have been a fumble recovery 6. But again, you want that ball security. You got to get the ball out of your hands, and this is a mistake. Both reads weren't open. You got a lot of quick pressure from Coatesville, and you're just best throwing that ball away in that situation. You're down in distance. You were in a good situation. You don't want to take that loss and possible fumble.
Well, Jameer Henderson, the 5'10", 235-pound offensive lineman, made a heads-up play to see that ball pop out to recover it, or what a great stop that would have been for the Coatesville Red Raiders. It'll be 4th down and 12, ball on the 25-yard line for Harrisburg. I mean, right here, here's an opportunity. I don't think right now, kicking game right now might be a little bit of a problem. I think Harrisburg's definitely going for it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're going to have to, figure out if you can get 12. And say, for instance, you don't get this if you're Harrisburg. You're on the road in Coatesville, hostile territory. You beat them last year. They're hungry. The crowd is here waiting. And it's 0-0 at half.
0-0 at half.
I mean, who has the edge on that? If you're Harrisburg coming into that situation, that's not a bad way to go into the locker room. That you have that momentum.
No doubt about it. It's 4th down and 12. Ball, 25-yard line. Williams down the field at the marker. Has his first down, and it'll be knocked out of bounds across the 5-yard line, catching carry.
And now it goes from a possible 0-0 half to you going up. I mean, you're in a good situation if you're a Cougar coming into this hostile place. And we just saw it. Coatesville's come out. The fan base is here. They are hyped, but they are quiet here. Harrisburg has been on this drive for a while. They have milked the clock, and now they're at the 5-yard line trying to get in the score with 7 seconds.
7 seconds. Williams, shotgun formation. 1st and 5. Has Plant to his right. Throws inside. It's a touchdown, Cougars.
Wow.
3 seconds to go. They team up. What a nice, effective drive, and that's carry. And I'll go to Archie Smith Jr. Archie, how important is that? What Williams and Carey this whole drive, 6 catches this drive.
As you can see, the defense that Coatesville was doing, they was playing deep and they was giving up the short. And what Harrisburg did, they took what they gave them. They took all the short words, they dink and dunk down the field, and that was a quick turnaround reroute. Hit him quick soon as he turned around, ball over the goal line, touchdown.
And Archie, what did we talk about that a quarterback needs, especially if he's coming in and out? He needs rhythm.
Rhythm.
You saw Akari Williams get into rhythm. He got a lot of completions on that drive, and he got into rhythm. He stood tall, got into rhythm, taking what the defense gives you, not making mistakes. And what do you get? You get a touchdown with 3 seconds left on the road in this hostile territory going into the locker room.
Well, right after, the McNeil's kick is good. The extra point after is great, 7-0. We'll be right back with Jack Giambavo's halftime report. And I tell you what's great about this, can you believe it? With no time left on the clock, there might be a second left on the clock, guys. There actually is 3 seconds. I thought the clock wind down, but it's not. How about that, Archie Smith Jr.? Harrisburg surprisingly up 7-0. And I tell you what, it might have been their defense that really has set up this opportunity on this last drive.
Well, they've been hearing it all summer. They've been hearing Ricky Ortega. They've been hearing the numbers. They know the type of quality quarterback he is. And as a defender, I'm challenging myself. Yeah. All right, I want to come here. I want to be prepared, and I want to be ready. I want to raise my game. And remember what we talked about, not the stars, but the younger guys. The juniors.
That's right.
The sophomores, some of the true freshmen. Look, we're some true freshmen out there. All right, so these guys are getting their chance to step it up. We're in a hostile environment down here in Red Raiders country, and we want to show our talent too. And that was a great methodical drive by Harrisburg going down the field.
Harrisburg, I tell you what, very impressive. Akari Williams and Carey, but not to be mistaken, that offensive line did a great job holding the Red Raiders there in that first real legit drive, I think, out of Harrisburg. And there's going to be 2 seconds, and Coatesville will have an opportunity here before half. We'll see if Ortega will come and take a knee and go into the halftime. But we will, stay tuned, we'll have our Jack Giambavo halftime report and our Capital Region Insurance Agency halftime stats and AT&T Midbank One highlights all coming up at halftime. Archie Smith Jr. in the booth with us here, Jerome Presley. We'll just get all our analysis. We'll tell you what we think that's going to come up in the second half. And really, this has been everything that we have thought this game should be and would be. On the road, Harrisburg surprisingly up 7-0.
With one caveat, though.
One caveat, and that is?
I think people would have expected more points.
Right.
Yeah, I think, the closeness of the game, definitely. The fact that this is such a defensive battle, that's what's impressed me. And let's not say, and this will be a big injury for Harrisburg. Anytime you see an injury, it's a big one. And that's number 33, Danzy, the senior, a linebacker, is going down. So I think hopefully he's okay, and he'll be able to get treatment and be able to resume. But again, both of these defenses have fared well. That's why you have a 7-0 game right now.
All right, Ortega will take a knee, and they'll go into half. Harrisburg up 7-0. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our Jack Giambavo halftime report, our Capital Region Insurance Agency halftime stats, and our AT&T Mid-Penn Bank 1 highlights coming right up here at halftime. We'll go inside the numbers, and we'll talk a little bit about what we think it would look like in the second half. Some of our keys. Harrisburg on the road up 7-0. We'll be right back.
Advanced Hoops is offering fall intensity classes, and we're excited because we have a lot of cutting-edge drills that we're adding to the training format this year. They're going to help players get ready for the season.
What you're going to see is a triangle dribbling series in which I'm going to be going through 3 cones, starting at the top, double crossover between the legs, and then speed dribble. The cones are closely together because you're going to work on footwork and combination drills all at the same time. The second drill, as you're going to see, we're going to go a crossover, and then behind the back, staying low, focusing on staying low, and acceleration after the second cone.
This next drill you're going to see is our defensive alternating hands drill, which allows the players to move from side to side while switching hands with a cone, which in a game will simulate you're switching hands to hands and also opening up and changing direction for help side defense.
Every class is going to feature ladder drills. It's the best way to get your feet quicker. Check it out.
The next drill we're going to do is the advanced miking drill. This works on alternating hands on each side of the basket, layups using both feet, both hands, and then also practices the comfort level with the reverse layups on each side. The fall intensity program is going to be awesome. As you can see, there's a lot of cutting edge drills that our coaches are excited to teach. It ranges from ball handling drills to strength, upper, lower body explosion drills, working on layups with opposite hands. You name it, we're gonna do it this fall, and we're gonna prepare the kids for the season. Kids that do our 10-week fall program, fall intensity will have an advantage. Sign up today.
The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambavo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambavo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
Welcome back to our Jack Giambavo halftime report. Archie Smith Jr. joining us in the booth along with Jerome Presley. And let's start off, guys. First of all, very opening drive. I thought Harrisburg was very effective, moving the ball, kind of catching Coatesville off guard a little bit. Archie, you mentioned it. Jerome, you mentioned it. And then penalties backed them way up. But look at this score right now, 7-0 Harrisburg. And what a nice drive. Williams coming back into the game as quarterback, hooking up with Carey. Talk about what you saw in that drive for a touchdown.
Hey, one thing that I seen was the guys settling down. Everybody out there that played this game, we already know, it's adrenaline. The adrenaline, we've been hearing everything. We've been preparing all summer for one another. Now, once the adrenaline settled down, everybody started to focus. Now the guys start to play the game of football. And you start to see teams settle down. Not that many penalties, as we were seeing a lot of different penalties, multiple penalties on each drive. The penalties start to turn down a little bit. Now we start to see the guys settle down, take what the defense was giving each quarterback, move the ball down the field, and Harrisburg got 7 points out of it.
Right, and Jerome, I mean, Harrisburg go on the road, hostile environment, as Archie's mentioned, go up 7-0. But you see some things that you know that settling down. If you're Coatesville, you're going inside that locker room. What are you telling your guys right now?
Well, Coatesville has some good things happen. I think Ricky Ortega has been poised. He's been making some decent plays. The problem area has been Harrisburg has been making him work. So he's come up with some Houdini plays, which have been great for them to keep drives going. But when it comes down to it, Harrisburg defense has stifled them at times. So what you're going to need to do from Coatesville is you have to get more guys involved than just Dupree and Ortega. You need some other guys to step up because Harrisburg has zeroed in on those two, and they're making plays hard for those guys. So someone else, they need someone else, a running game, another receiver, someone else to make a big play or be able to be counted on to make big plays offensively. And if they can get that, they can turn the tide of this game.
You know, you guys, we look into both of these teams, and we see where some of the holes of graduation, like an Aaron Young in the backfield for Coatesville. Obviously, you see a little difference, but both of you in pregame mentioned it's not who was here, what seniors are here now. It's role players stepping up in trenches, and we didn't even mention a guy like Carey who stepped up in that second quarter, and I thought receiver-wise ran very effective routes, and Williams hitting.
Well, you see Carey and you see Plant both alternating back at safety. You got one that's playing receiving and going back at safety, then you got our running back that's taking his time and he's going back to safety. But it was one key drive that I seen from Harrisburg out there, and as you can see, their whole starting defensive line was not in the game. They came in with 5 fresh new guys that withstood the drive from Ortega coming down the field until the starters was able to get back in there, which caused the fumble, which these guys turned that fumble into points. One thing that I'm thinking about for Harrisburg is, if I'm Kyle Everett, who do we come back and start our offensive series with? Is it McNeil or is it Williams?
That's a great question, Drummond. We'll leave it right at that before, and we'll take a break and come back. Is it McNeil or is it Williams?
I'll say right now, you keep going with the 2 quarterback system. Both have fared well right now. I think initially McNeil was showing the edge, but Williams got into a rhythm, and he got into a rhythm and got points. So right now, it's not broke. So why try to fix it?
It's not broke. Why try to fix it? Great first half. Number 10 on the road versus number 3 in 6A. We'll be back with more on the Jack Giovanni halftime report after these messages.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish. With 6 locations, Groff Tractor is always nearby your equipment needs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
This is an education that focuses on your child's unique interests. It's taking field trips and making friendships. And it's what a modern-day public K-12 education looks like. This is Commonwealth Charter Academy, and this is how schools should work. CCA is an online public school available at no cost to all Pennsylvania families. Learn how Commonwealth Charter Academy can work for your family at ccaeducate.me.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
This month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. New 2019 Ford F-150 XLT, not $10,000 off, up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% financing for 72 months, and up to $7,000 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Welcome back to our halftime report, our AT&T Mid-Penn Bank 1 halftime highlights, looking inside that first quarter. It was tough defensive effort, and really at one point, I mean, we just had a stalemate. It didn't look like we were playing chess game a little bit for a while. Defensive stepping up, but inside those highlights, I think that you'll see some things, but one thing I think you'll see is a lot of hitting in that first half.
Yeah, I think both defenses, outplayed the offenses, and part of it, as you see, was mistakes. But Debris fumbles the ball, the Cougars jump on it, and those defenses were able to capitalize. So, you saw each time the offenses began to kind of get some momentum, and then they shot themselves in the foot with penalties or a turnover in that situation. So that's going to be something that both teams want to clean up. And then you see Akari Williams get into that rhythm, delivers some strikes downfield, hits, I think the one thing about him is his ability to use his legs to buy time to get the ball down the field, and then he throws a strike into the end zone for the touchdown, which was just a really good play on his behalf.
And you know what was great about that drive? You said Akari Williams went 9 for 9 for 93 yards and a touchdown hookup. That drive was a big drive.
Hey, his total has been he's been efficient. These guys are coming out, they're believing him. But McNeil is not far behind. Right. He's 6 for 9 for 71 yards. So the Cougars are they're not putting too much on the quarterbacks. He's keeping them calm. But you can see that McNeil has been taking the shots. Half of his yard has come for deep shots down the field, and Akari has been taking the dink and dunks and coming down the field. But another big thing that I have seen, guys, is for Coatesville, Dupree, who's dynamic, who can stretch the field. He's been shadowed and covered all night by number 9, Dante Kent. I want everybody to pay attention to this matchup right here. This kid has been following this kid all over the field, and he's basically kind of taking the kid out of the game.
Yeah. It is such a good call that Archie brings up, and just that spotting call, that type of thing. And that's the inside trenches stuff that when you got a guy down on the field, us up in the booth,
Absolutely.
that we might miss. And you know what? The passion out of both of you guys tonight, can I say, it just makes me want to elevate my game a little bit more.
Absolutely, man. That's what it's about. Everybody has to elevate their game. Coatesville has to elevate their game. Harrisburg has to elevate their game, and we have to elevate our game. So I think for both teams coming out halftime, the speech, we're in the game if you're either team. If you're Coatesville, you're down 7-0. That's it. You get the ball back in the next second half. It's your turn to try to get something going. You have to, like I said, you have to get someone else in this offense and in this game. And if Dante Kent is shadowing your big gun, then you got to find another gun in your roster. So they got to get somebody else involved. If you're Harrisburg, you came into Coatesville, and you're up half 7-0 on the road. This place is packed. You have momentum right now. So now it's time for you to take that momentum and spin it into something else and make it even bigger. So they want to come out, use that defense who have been effective, Dante Kent shadowing the big gun on the other team, and continue to tackle well and see if you can pull this out and stretch this lead.
And what's playing in the background up here in the booth? Journey, Don't Stop Believing. So whoever you're cheering for tonight, it's a 7-0 game. As Journey says, don't stop believing. And we'll be right back for more of our halftime report after these messages.
This month month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on a 2019 Ford Escape SC, or 0% financing for 60 months, and up to $3,250 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
You just went. Here's the deal. Road trips can get pricey. At rest stops alone, there's lunch, snacks, gas. So instead, I go to Giant and get bonus buy savings on everything we need to stay on the road.
I forgot my retainer.
If we ever leave.
Everything you need at prices you'll love, only at Giant.
Our brand boneless, skinless chicken breasts, this week $1.69 per pound.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stellar Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free homeownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of homeownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish. With 6 locations, Groff Tractor is always nearby your equipment needs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
This month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. New 2019 Ford F-150 XLT, not $10,000 off, up to $13,500 off MSRP, or 0% financing for 72 months, and up to $7,000 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Right there, you see a beautiful crowd, beautiful night. High school football, Harrisburg up 7-0 on the road. We'll have more of our third quarter action coming up after these messages. We're going to take a break. Stay tuned for more good second half action. Harrisburg 7, Coatesville 9.
This month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on a 2019 Ford Escape SC, or 0% financing for 60 months, and up to $3,250 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
This is an education that focuses on your child's unique interests. It's taking field trips and making friendships. And it's what a modern-day public K-12 education looks like. This is Commonwealth Charter Academy, and this is how schools should work. CCA is an online public school available at no cost to all Pennsylvania families. Learn how Commonwealth Charter Academy can work for your family at ccaeducate.me.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dolphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
This year's High School Sports Live is partnering with Capital Region Insurance Agency, AT&T, to bring awareness to distracted driving. Each game will feature the Capital Region Insurance Agency, AT&T student section, and ask students to consider the consequences of taking the call, risk it all. We challenge students to join millions who have taken the pledge to drive distraction-free as part of the AT&T It Can Wait campaign. To learn more, itcanwait.com. Giant Food Fights. High School Sports Live is proud to sponsor the Giant Food Fight this year in partnership with Giant Food to support the Central PA Food Bank. To find out how you can support the Central PA Food Bank, volunteer or donate non-perishable food items, go to www.centralpafoodbank.org. Advanced Hoops is running fall intensity training classes in South Central PA as players from all over the Mid-State will travel to train with the Advanced Hoops staff. Go to advancedhoops.com to see each age group have a chance to play competition 5-on-5. Every class has crossover intensity dribble, 30-minute extra A-Hoops professional staff work. Go to advancedhoops.com to see the schedule. Shooting with Charlie, post with Duke, point guard with Gerald. It does not get any better than that. Go to advancedhoops.com. Classes start in 2 weeks. Our next broadcast, presented by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We got a great one Friday, September 6th. Coatesville at Cumberland Valley, 7 o'clock p.m. on ABC 27. Don't miss that one. Coatesville coming on the road to go take on the Eagles, the resurging Cumberland Valley Eagles. Don't miss our next broadcast presented by Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. And back, and as you look at the Cougars wearing the white on white tonight, Coach Calvin Everett, what a great job, Jerome, he has done in his years as the skipper of the Harrisburg Cougars. He has his team trimmed and ready to play tonight.
Yes, the one thing about Coach Everett is he has a calm demeanor, and he's tapped into what he needs to do to get this program where it is today. I mean, this team has seen in the past 4 or 5 years 2 state championship runs where they've gotten to the state championship game, and they haven't been able to get over the hump. They've won district titles, multiple. They won multiple league titles, and they're now a perennial power in the Mid-Penn, and they are feared. I mean, when you play the Cougars, he bases his team on solid defense. I mean, they're ferocious. I mean, their defenses over the past 4 or 5 years, and we're seeing it today. Stifling. They're quick, they're fast, they hit hard, they tackle so well, and an offense that has stars that develop over time, and they just make big plays. So they've done such a good job, and you see Coatesville has been in the same boat. They have stars that play, they have guys that come up, that have gone on to Division I colleges. They have offensive lines, defensive lines that have been so solid, and you see 2 big public schools that have made their name, not the private schools that can get players from different places sometimes. You have guys that are homegrown in their system or in their area that were younger, and they watched those guys be successful ahead of them and have come and done their thing. So it's just good atmosphere for both teams.
Fans, if you like what you see, the Pennsylvania Cable Network Game of the Week continues next Friday live at 7 p.m. Bethlehem Catholic takes on Bethlehem Freedom. Catch the entire game on cable and stream it with PCN Select. Visit PCNTV.com for the schedule. And PCN's bringing you key matchups across the state of Pennsylvania all season, all week long. Don't settle for just local games or highlights. Every Friday, watch the whole game live on cable stream and with PCN Select. Go to PCNTV.com for the full schedule. In addition, they've got great tee-off time at PIAA championship coverage with individual golf championships, and they continue with soccer, field hockey, girls volleyball, cross country, and football. You can watch all of these PIAA championships on PCN TV Network. Harrisburg up 7-0. third quarter action coming right up. It's just the intensity here tonight, I thought from the get-go, Jerome, had everything we want in the start of high school football season. College football tomorrow. I mean, I know I say this over and over. I love summer. When summer sneaks into fall, as Kenny Chesney used to say it, the boys of fall, the boys of summer who go into the fall, and it's football season. And, man, I tell you what, from Rocky Top to the Blue Ridges, to all the way down there to Alabama where Archie Smith Jr. grew up to play football in the state of Pennsylvania, Texas, Oklahoma. I feel like we get the benefit on every Friday night for the last 12 years calling football games, and I couldn't be more blessed to have that opportunity to be here Friday night. And as the music starts in the background, the band plays. Coatesville will have the ball to start the second half, down 7-0. And you know what, Jerome? They really need something out of this opening drive in the third quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, they do. And, again, you're only down 7-0, so you're not in a bad situation. They just have to come out and play.
Harrisburg has struggled a little bit with the kicking game, and right now we just want to see Coatesville. Special teams-wise, we didn't really talk a lot about it in our opener, but special team play can really trigger something. Let's see what happens here. Start of the third quarter, Harrisburg up 7-0. Ball taken across the 20-yard line, across the 30, looking for a play, and wow, what a hit coming across the field, making a beautiful play. I mean, man, I tell you what, that's Keith Gregg. He's only a junior, but, man, did he make a great special teams play.
Yeah, and again, if you're Harrisburg, you want to come out defensively and set the tone again. And if you're Coatesville, you got to get something going. You have to put points on the board. You've had some successful drives. You got into the red zone. You couldn't punch it in. Now it's time for you to try to do that.
Ricky Ortega, 102 touchdowns in his three-year career here as the starter. Rolling to his right, dumping, a little high, but it's caught. Great open field tackle. That's 21 bringing in the haul. That's R.T. Burgess on the catch.
So, again, you want to see Coatesville get Ortega back in the rhythm again, and it's good to see him go to another receiver. I mean, that's a big thing. You want to get another receiver in the game, get them active, and you're seeing number 21, Burgess, get in the game. And, again, you want to get other guys playing. You want to be able to spread the offense and spread the ball around.
So it'll be 2nd and 8. Coatesville really looking for something here to start this third quarter, to get something rolling. They had some opportunities, knocked on the door in the red zone twice, came up short. Ortega with trips to the left. He's going to keep himself designed up the middle, across the 40-yard line, get hit by just about everybody on that Cougar defense. Big, effective move, hard play, crossing the 45-yard line, and that'll move the chains. That'll be a first down for the Red Raiders.
And again, sustaining drives is big. This Cougar defense is going to come get you, make some plays, put points on the board. I haven't seen – the one thing I haven't seen with Coatesville is they have a big arm quarterback. They have not gone deep at all.
You're right.
And I'm not sure if it's because of the Harrisburg defense and they haven't allowed Ortega to really look deep, or if the play calling has been designed to just kind of hit the medium to short routes right now. So that's one of the things I'm going to look for in this next half.
Capri Bryant went in motion. There's going to be flags on the play. There's a lot of penalties, a lot of laundry in the first half. Both teams trying to settle down. That's going to go against the Red Raiders. Somebody moved on that left side. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. Did you see it?
Been a big thing that I've been trying to study down here is every time that receiver goes in motion, they're calling a false start. So I'm trying to see, is a line jumping or is he moving towards going up the ball before the ball is snapped?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I was thinking the same thing. What is it? Is it that motion behind the offensive lineman where they jump, or is there two people there has to be two people in motion or moving at the same time that's causing that? And it hasn't been real clear of what's happening. But that has really stifled this offense, it's shot them. It's put them in situations where they can't generate any offense because of that.
That's where we just go. I mean, Sunday game film. Nobody wants to come in on Sunday, so you come back Monday, you start looking at the game, but you got to get ready for Friday, and that's the great thing. And there's flags down. It's going to be moving on the right side against the right now. Coatesville is struggling to. Oh, actually, I apologize. I thought I saw movement. I tell you what, I felt like you could still throw a flag on both sides of the ball.
Right.
That's going to go against the Cougars, helping the Red Raiders in this drive. We'll get it ironed out here, too. Just throw a flag to me when I can't get it. You know what I'm saying, Jerome?
Yeah.
So we got dual receivers, one single receiver to the right. Ortega looked left, faked shoulder, getting pressure backside, and is going to have to throw it away. It's probably a heads-up play. He got chased. I mean, heavy pursuit by Wigfall. And he's getting in the backfield a lot, Lemire is. And I don't know why. They're having a tough time. Archie Smith was going to. They're having a tough time blocking Wigfall, big number 8 at the defensive end. He's getting constant pressure on Ortega when he's rolling out.
As you can see, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get Ortega on the outside. As you can see, he's been very effective when he's outside on the move. So what Harrisburg now is trying to put him in a container. They're trying to let their nose tackle beat the guards up front. And you can see that they're clashing the line and they're making Ortega have to run outside, which is playing into Harrisburg's hand because they do have athletic and fast defensive ends.
Thank you, Archie.
Yeah, I mean, historically, we've seen it years ago, when these defenses for Harrisburg have really got after quarterbacks. And we saw it in the semifinals, state semifinals last year, where they made Ortega very uncomfortable. Yeah. And you're seeing a replay of that of sorts today. They come fast, they come quick. They don't have to blitz a lot, but when they do, it makes it even worse for you. And when you have sprinters playing and coming after your quarterback, you don't have a lot of time, and I think that's what you're seeing from Ortega. He just doesn't have time sometimes to set up.
So it'll be 3rd down and 18, backing Ortega up. I mean, this is just a difference for him in his junior year or senior year coming in. Offense moving him backwards a little bit, trips to the left. Ortega going to roll right, or his left, excuse me. Looking downfield, dump off, incomplete, overthrown, kind of dangerous. And that'll bring up a 4th down. And Harrisburg will come out here after the score right before half, and they'll get the hold they want. They'll get the ball back. Momentum on their side. Back to receive the punt will be Dante Kent. And that is one guy, Archie Smith Jr., Dante Kent, just kind of lurking for that opportunity to make that special teams play. Am I not right? I mean, that's one kid back there. If that punt gets in his hands with some room, boy, he might take it to the house.
As you can see, this kid is focused. He's got one objective in his mind, and that's to shut down Dupree. And he is locked in, and he's looking to make a play anytime he can. And Jerome, you know this as being defensive back and punt returners. We do our job on defense, but this is when we get our shine right here.
Absolutely.
And Dante Kent, I love what he said about getting your – because you guys played on all sides of the ball, man. Defense, you guys played special teams. I mean, actually, I did my research on both you guys. There were 90% of all the games you guys played in your 4 years of high school. What's beautiful about it, you guys never came off the field.
Yeah, and that's how it used to be. I mean, because you also played different sports, and again, you see more of a specialization in sports nowadays.
You're right.
That you don't see before, and I know people have thoughts about that. Not everybody likes that idea because many times one sport helps you for the other.
Takes a little bit of our Harrisburg roll. Coatesville has to come over and down it pretty quickly. Let's see who comes out in quarterback. Will it be John McNeil or Akari Williams? But combined, Harrisburg went 15 for 18 from the quarterback spot and 155 yards. And you know what, Drum? I think it's time to go inside some big matchups we have. What are some of the scores you've seen come across the
definitely.
area?
Manheim Township is up 33-0 on Central Dolphin East. Hollidaysburg 35-7 on Altoona area. Redland is up 10-6 at the half on Waynesboro. New Oxford is up 38-0 on Bermudian Springs. This is a big game, and Harrisburg will be wanting to know this. Wilson is up 14-10 against Central Dolphin at the half at Wilson. Middletown is up 27-6 on Lower Dolphin. Manheim Central up 10-7 on Susquehanna Township. So that's been a big game.
Nice matchup there.
And another big one, Cumberland Valley is up 14-7 on Bishop McDevitt. So again, Cumberland Valley wanting to get themselves back on the page where people are starting to talk about them again. Governor Mifflin is down 12-7 against Cedar Cliff, and Chambersburg area is up 49-0 on Greencastle Anthem. So those are the scores, some of the scores from around the area. Back in Harrisburg, and we'll try to get some of the scores more locally in a second.
So it's 8:59 to play, 1st down and 10. Our crew needs to talk about it a little bit, and so this is where, Archie had mentioned you think you'll ever see an opportunity to look back on playback or anything like that. Looks like they got it all ironed out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the ball will be on the 32-yard line for Harrisburg, but nope, take that back. It was going to be on the 32-yard line. It's going to be backed up. I mean, I didn't even see the flag. It's hard to know what's going on, really.
Well, again, you just, you know, we've seen a lot of penalties on both teams. And again, you're going to see that for the first game of the season. These kids have been working hard in the offseason. It's been a hot summer. So you know, as far as being in shape, both of these coaches have really worked their teams hard to get them in shape. The big thing is the timing, ball security, cadence of the quarterback, the offsides, the holding penalties. Those are all early season problems. And the successful teams are the teams that are able to correct that as the season goes on and not let it bite them the whole season. Those that struggle with that continuously will have problems moving forward.
1st and 10 and keeper. And I mean, that was Plant on the carry. Not much there. Stingy defense on the other side of the Red Raiders. Also, you got a hats off to them. They've done a good job tonight, too. So let's get again. And it's McNeil in at quarterback, giving it to Plant, as you see. But coming up and making a great tackle is Lemire Brown, the defensive lineman. He goes 2-10. McNeil, shotgun, back to pass, dumps it off. It's complete today. And right now, you know what has happened? And Archie, maybe you can comment on this too. Harrisburg has found a way to make not only the crowd lethargic, but the whole game tonight has become somewhat slow-paced lethargic now.
You can see that, and I am very impressed of what Harrisburg is overcoming. Reason that ball was back there because they had a personal foul which resulted into an ejection, guys.
McNeil looking downfield. And it looked like, well, there's going to be a flag. I don't know if that's going to be offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference. It looks like it might go against the defense, but Day has really, two receivers I want to point out that we didn't even really mention. Carey and Day, both of these guys, step-up players for you. If you look back at it here on the screen as we look at it again, is this going to go against the defense? And I think it is because it's face guarding. So, Archie, to your point that you made in the first half so well is here's two guys from the receiver spot, Day and Carey, 11 and 13. And you know what they're doing? They're beating the guys in the secondary on the Red Raiders.
One thing that I'm seeing Coatesville is coming out, they're playing some man, but they're trying to disguise it also with a cover two. And what a cover two is, you have your corners in the flat, which are safeties over top, and Harrisburg is trying to catch them in that right defense.
And I think one of the things you're also seeing with Harrisburg is you're seeing different quarterbacks doing different to what we thought their strengths would be. So McNeil is the one that's going deep and taking the shots. And what you're seeing is he's throwing it up and giving his receiver the chance to get it. A face guarding is when the defensive back is covering but doesn't turn around, his back to the ball, and doesn't turn around and is basically in the face of the receiver, and it kind of precludes the receiver from getting the ball. So sometimes you'll see the ball bounce off of a helmet in a face guarding situation, and they'll call that every time. So, you know, as a receiver, you're as a defensive back, you're taught to get your head around as soon as possible. You keep your eyes on, when you're covering, you look at the eyes of the receiver, they will tip you off to where the ball is coming, when it's coming.
Exactly
so you see those eyes, those eyes get big, you know the ball's coming in because they're trying to zero in. You turn your head to get around and make a play on the ball.
So there was a holding call against the Cougars, backing them up. The ball will be on the 26-yard line. First down, 22. Long way to go.
And holding penalties are big penalties because they're 10-yarder, man. They're just a big penalty and takes you back, takes you out of your momentum, and now you're in first and forever.
It'll be 7:25 here in the third quarter. Time seems to tick away at this game pretty quickly. Twin receivers, and that's where McNeil's looking. He's going to overthrow Day. That'll be incomplete. On the coverage was Shockley.
And again, you talked about this game being lethargic.
Right.
And I'll tell you, Harrisburg doesn't want it to be lethargic. No. It's just that they're capitalizing on it. And you know, if it's quiet, that means they're doing what they need to do. So they're taking it, and it is interesting to see.
They're taking the air out of the stadium a bit. 2nd and 22, a long way to go. Ball on the 26-yard line. McNeil to Kent. Kent running hard, going to move the chains and first down. And how about the authority of laying his head down? Oh,
Yeah.
it's shy. It's shy. I'm sorry. Got a lot of them back.
Yep, and that's the key. When you have that much yardage to make up, you try to get half of it back in one play. That gives you a 3rd and 7. You know, that's more manageable than 3rd and 22. So getting that yardage was big. A nice swing pass out to your receiver and let him get upfield. And getting Dante Kent involved is going to be very important for the Cougars.
That was a 20-yard pickup for the Cougars. McNeil rolling right. He's going to keep it across the 40, the 50. Picking up 17 on the play with his legs and moving the chains is the Cougars. And I mean, you know what? Right now, guys, I really like the quarterback by committee kind of thing because, look, they've been pretty effective. Take a look here.
Yeah, and I don't call it by committee. I just see two guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, the one thing that you're seeing from McNeil is his ability to stretch the field. You got the defensive backs' heads are turned against you, so you got a lot of yards. You see open daylight, take it.
Right side, Plant. This is what he does across the 30. Staying on his feet across the 20. Down to the 15. Knocked out of bounds. Picking up another 14 on the play.
And as we know, you're getting guys involved. You can't forget number 5 because Plant has the ability to change the game quickly getting upfield. And you saw he gets through, squeaks through the line. He's short. You don't necessarily see him. Gives amazing stiff arm on the outside and then just gets upfield. He got Burgess on the stiff arm and gets upfield.
Just the effectiveness of this drive right here. Just pushing, driving. And wow. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Ball on the 16-yard line. Red zone opportunity for McNeil and the Cougars. He's got trips receivers and one single receiver. That single receiver's Day on this far right. Plant is his lone back. McNeil got one-on-one coverage on the backside. It's going to be a touchdown, Cougars. Throws to the back shoulder, perfect. Unbelievable play set up, 16-yard hookup from McNeil to Day. Man, look at the throw. Let's just take a look at the throw.
And I'll tell you, you got both quarterbacks. We talk about the quarterbacks that are trading off. Both of them had scoring drives. Both of them threw touchdown passes. Right now, Coach Everett's doesn't need to change. They're showing up right now. And one thing that you got to say, this was the offensive line's drive.
Yes, it was.
We were looking for when the offensive line of one of these teams would show up and dominate a little bit. Led by Nate Bruce, the 6'5", 325-pound left tackle. This was their drive. They were able to run the ball. They were able to pass the ball because that offensive line did their part. And now the Cougars, surprisingly, up 14-0 on the road.
We'll be back after these messages.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rentals, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish. With 6 locations, Groff Tractor is always nearby your equipment needs. Groff Tractor also offers scheduled maintenance along with 24/7 emergency service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
It was a 9-play drive over 80 yards. And literally, just really set up a beautiful 9-play drive, 80 yards. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. down on the field. Archie, that was put together well. Mentioning the offensive line shout out, but man, great play calling results to a double-digit lead for Harrisburg Cougars.
Well, that segment right there, I spent the whole time over there on the Harrisburg sideline. And one thing I seen, man, you got all of the guys cheering on the offensive line. One thing that I seen was Akari Williams cheering on McNeil. You can see the hypeness, the greatness for each other, just cheering on, hoping for each other to have success. Every kid is over there yelling for one another right now, man. It's a good camaraderie, and you see you get results out of that, guys. Everybody is for one another.
Yep. Thank you, Archie. Coatesville looking for something here. That ball's going to roll. It's going to be picked up. It's going to go in the end zone. He's going to bring it out of the end zone. Dupree Bryant brings it out of the end zone and picks up some, crosses the 15 to 17-yard line. Woo.
Yeah, I think because he kind of secured it before it went into the end zone, he kind of had to bring it out. But again, Archie, I want to go back to you. You were talking about something else that happened on the field on that drive and that big penalty. What did you see?
Well, we'll hold off on Archie's commentary there. We got a player down. We'll come right back after these messages.
This month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. New 2019 Ford F-150 XLT, not $10,000 off, up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% financing for 72 months, and up to $7,000 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
You just went. Here's the deal. Road trips can get pricey. At rest stops alone, there's lunch, snacks, gas. So instead, I go to Giant and get bonus buy savings on everything we need to stay on the road.
I forgot my retainer.
If we ever leave.
Everything you need at prices you'll love. Only at Giant.
Our brand boneless, skinless chicken breasts. This week, $1.69 per pound.
Let's go down to Archie Smith on the field. Archie?
Hey, one thing I was able to find out, reason Harrisburg was backed up after that turnover on downs from Coatesville, off of the punt, it was a punch being thrown, which resulted in an ejection for the Harrisburg, which was number 4.
One of the things we've seen, guys, tonight is legal procedures a lot out of Coatesville. You remember that illegal procedure hurt them in that game last year against Harrisburg in that win. And I don't know. They need to settle down there a bit.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, if it happens so much, you got to get it out. You may have to adjust because right now, for whatever reason, you're not getting. Is it a cadence issue? Is something? Is an issue that if it keeps happening, it's hurting you so much, you may have to adjust and get them and stop that play, or bring the team off the sideline and really talk about this, and even have them run it on the sideline a little bit so that they know what they're doing.
Don't count out the Red Raiders here.
Oh, you can't. I mean, this program is too prideful, and they're too explosive, and they still have explosive players. So you can't count them out. Ricky Ortega is one of the state's best, one of the state's history. I mean, he's going to go down in history as one of the best quarterbacks in the state. So you cannot count him out in this game, and you can't count out the Red Raiders.
Ortega's hook up to Stewart. It'll be a 3rd down and 1 on the 26. Designed to keep. Great spin. Ortega still on his feet, crossing the 30, crossing the 35, just shy of the 40, and that's going to be a late hit, I think, out of bounds on the Cougars. So that.
And I believe that's going to be the 3rd time that they're getting hit with that.
That is the 3rd flag.
You have to let up, especially on a quarterback.
Fouls, right.
You know, any official is going to call that, especially when QBs are running with the ball. You cannot come up and hit a guy once he steps out of bounds. So it's that. You know, and did it seem like a huge hit? No, but it's one of those things where if a guy's on his way out of bounds, you can't have that penalty. And I know Coach Everett is not happy about that because you don't want to give yards and give first downs to a dangerous Coatesville offense.
Nothing frustrates a coaching staff more than, you know, you're up 2 touchdowns, you got some great things going to you, and you're picking up these kinds of things that can end simply by not hitting the guy after they're already out of bounds. As you said, at 1st and 10, ball on the 45-yard line, 4:32 to play. Trips over to the right. Ortega looking left. Rolling, looking downfield, complete. Overthrew him, and I tell you, that's normally something that doesn't happen, but there's flags down as well. I mean, just Dupree Bryant beat the secondary, and I don't know who was on the coverage, but we've got a player down. Archie, what did you see on that? It looks like it right now that Dante Kent went down. I don't know if he fell, tripped, or what happened, if he pulled a hamstring.
Well, what you had, guys, was a double route, which was a stop and go. On the stop route, Kent came up on the jam, and Dupree ran by. Now he's down right now, which looks like, to me, I'll say cramps.
And we have a roughing the passer.
And to get another big penalty for Harrisburg.
That's 30 yards given, and personal foul penalties, and then we still have Dante Kent down on the field.
And
so
like you said,
it's
been given. Like you
given.
gave
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Like that wasn't an earned penalty. You gave it from a play that, 2 times that you didn't need. So that's 3 personal foul penalties. Three times you hit somebody out of bounds, and then you get a roughing the passer situation. So you got to clean that up, because you don't want to give this team any yardage or any plays moving forward.
Well, we hope Dante Kent's all right. I mean, he's been a big key tonight. Looks like a cramp again. We talked about that. You're going to see that a lot right there. And there's calf cramps, hamstring cramps, and I don't prefer any of them.
They're
but our
rough.
next broadcast presented by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, Friday, September the 6th. We go to Coatesville, Cumberland Valley Eagles, and I just want to say something a little bit about those Cumberland Valley Eagles coming off a 3-win season. That has not happened in a long time down in Cumberland Valley, but they're hungry. And as you said, they were up in the game currently right now against Bishop McDevitt. That's going to be a great matchup. Coatesville goes on the road, and I tell you what, that is a very tough place to play, but we're going to come right back. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more football action after these messages.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
16 for 138. Welcome back, and let's go inside this stat. Archie, Jerome, Harrisburg has 16 penalties for 138 yards, and 4 of them are personal foul calls. They're still up 14-0. Normally, I'm telling you, with a great team that's number 3 in the state in 6A, could you imagine trying to win a game with 16 penalties, 138 yards?
That's rough. That's a hard one for you, and you're fortunate to be in the game, and you're extremely fortunate to be winning the game. So I think they have to clean this up, because again, you just don't want to give them yardage, and that's a lot of penalty yards right there that you're giving a team that you don't want to give them. So you got to bring these guys in. And again, you love the aggressiveness you're seeing from Harrisburg, but they have to be able to play smart too.
Ortega left side, cross the 30-yard line, stiff arm, and going to be knocked out of bounds across the 22-yard line. He'll pick up 8. 4:19 to play. And I mean, here's one thing. They strike fast here. And the crowd's just, you heard that pickup. I mean, it sounded like thunder and lightning. They're pounding on the metal bleachers so hard right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to give you a sense of that when this crowd gets behind these Red Raiders, it actually shakes the booth up here. That's how physically strong this crowd is. And they've been waiting for something all night to get excited about this team. Right now, 2nd and 5, ball in the 25. Ortega's going to have 3 receivers split right. Dupree down here on the screen left side. Looking right. Design. Stand on his feet, crossing the 20-yard line, taken down by Shaquan Carter-Barton.
So again, you have Ortega is these design draws to get him into play, and they're methodically taking the ball downfield, aided by huge penalties. I mean, if it wasn't for those penalties, Harrisburg has done everything correct defensively. They're making Coatesville earn everything on the field until the penalty happens. So again, if they can clean that up, they're right where they need to be. They're up 2 scores. Coatesville has to score. It's going to get to a point if they don't score, they're going to have to speed this up. And I think that also plays into Harrisburg hands too. So we'll see what happens.
1st and 10. Give to McLean Jackson, right side. There's some wrestling in the backfield. There's Ricky Ortega going up and tells players, hey, let's just stay clean here. We got a chance to drive. Smart quarterback decision there. Keeping his team effective. 2nd and 6, the ball being like 15. Knocking on the red zone door, opportunity here. Boy, oh boy, I think you see McLean Jackson put his head down, ran over the defender. Can't help but think personal fouls leading for an opportunity here for the Red Raiders. If you're a Harrisburg fan. McLean Jackson, now pull for Ortega. He's going to bounce out left. Good open field tackle. Clinging and hanging on. And look, Jameer Plant has to come up and make that tackle.
And again, you're seeing Ortega, you know, using that strength. And one of the things we talked about is he is not easy to bring down. He's gotten stronger. He's running upfield. You see Contain is lost on the outside, and he's able to get outside. So, again, that defensive end, whoever it is on whichever side you're on, and that's Shaquan Carter-Barton on that side, but you have to play contain and force everything inside. You can't get sucked outside or inside, and then they go outside of you. So you've got to play contain to keep Ortega in the pocket or inside.
3rd and 3. Ortega over top, set that play up, Brett, and it's complete to Bryant. Now tell me that was not set up. Archie, that has been set up this whole drive.
That is going on in high school, even though made a transition to the NFL, is RPO. And what the RPO is, run pass option.
Yep. Yeah, you're seeing that everywhere. And basically, it's a quick play. It's hard to defend. You know, you saw the Eagles and Nick Foles won a Super Bowl doing that. You know, it's something that's hard to defend, and it's something that you're seeing at every level. The RPO, one of the things about the RPO is it gets your quarterback in a rhythm quickly, and I think that's what you're seeing from Ortega. This was his rhythm, you know, again, aided by penalties, but you see him more comfortable throwing the ball.
First and down up from the 2. McLean Jackson over the left side, not much. Picked up 1. Cougars been stingy with their backs against the wall on their own goal line. A little bit of talking going on, and that's understandable. Opportunity here, though.
You're going to see that based off of last year, and these two teams, they have history together. So, yeah, you're going to see some jawing back and forth. But, again, you don't want to get penalties.
Yeah.
You got to be smart about it.
3rd quarter grinding down to 50 seconds. 2nd and 1, ball on the 1. Taking it under center for the first time. Going to roll, pressure. Dump, incomplete.
And that was just good defense. I mean, I think Harrisburg covered every level of that offensive play. So, again, it's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 and gold. And they have to be able to see if they can get in. And Harrisburg has shown that they get stingy down in this area of the field.
John Ruttman is the intended receiver. So take a look at it again. A lot of pressure. And incomplete just there at the end. And I tell you, Ruttman won that opportunity. 3rd and 1, 47 seconds, 3rd quarter action. They're not going to get this playoff. They're down to 2. They're going to have to probably take a timeout. Yep. Didn't get to playoff.
Oh, wow.
Now, Harrisburg, Coatesville staff, offensive coordinator Jim Catapio, he says that he thought that Harrisburg had too many guys on the field. Coach Ortega is pointing it out, too. I mean, the whole staff is pointing it out. You know that frustration. You can tell it. You know when you see something.
Yeah.
And I think, Archie, did you see too many men on the field? Did Harrisburg get by with one here?
No, they don't. They was trying to get the attention of the field ref down here to call a timeout.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they was doing. They was arguing his case, saying that the field ref was honoring the coach's timeout, but the head ref had already called a delay of game.
Okay. We'll get a timeout here. We'll come right back after these messages.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free homeownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of homeownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
28 total penalties in this game. Harrisburg, 16 penalties for 138. Coatesville on the other side, 12 penalties.
Yeah.
118.
118. So both, again,
28 penalties.
It's sloppy first game of the season football, and you know you're going to have that, but at the same time, it's still it's hard. It's because these penalties are hurting you big time. So now Coatesville 3rd and 6. And Harrisburg's defense is tightened up. So, they're going to have to come up with something that can get them in. They need to get in the end zone. The third quarter is almost over. So you're getting into crunch time. If you don't punch it in here, you're getting in some crunch time now.
Right. 3rd and 6. Pitch to Bryant. We've seen this before. He had that option to throw. And it will be tipped around and incomplete and almost hung onto and almost caught. And Stewart had the ball in his hands, and it's knocked away by Plant. Man, was there an opportunity right there.
There was opportunity for
play
both.
Call. Good play call.
I think there could have been a reception. There could have been a completion for a touchdown. Everything kind of happened on this play, and you saw it develop. This could have been picked. Then it could have been caught, and then right at the end, was where the defensive play was made, where Plant came in, put the hand in right at the end. So now one more play. Again, Coatesville, in my opinion, has to get it in here. It's not the ball game, but pretty much the entire third quarter is gone. And if you can't get in here, you can't show any points from this. This will be a huge mental victory for Harrisburg.
They did not get the playoff. I don't know. Ortega was aware of the clock or not. He was taking his time as he come up.
Well, here's what I'll say. Sometimes, because when you get closer to the end zone, you get less field to work with, right?
Right.
Because you have the back of the end zone. So sometimes when you have a penalty that gets you get back a little bit further, it gives you a little bit more room to play with.
I agree with you there.
So it's not always a bad thing. You don't want that to happen at 4th and 11. You got to get in the end zone. So that means anything short has to get you in the end zone.
Take it with time. Going to roll left. Dump, and it will be incomplete, knocked down, and Harrisburg avoids another Coatesville opportunity. We got a player down.
Wow.
And Harrisburg will take over on downs.
And again, how big? Now this is where this is big. Now because of the penalty, Harrisburg is not backed up.
Right.
They actually get the ball it's not good field position, but
it's a lot better than being on their own
6. On their own
right.
6 or 5. So that penalty helped them out if Coatesville couldn't advance the ball. So this was a good defense. You see 3 rushing and everybody else in coverage. They were going to make it hard for Ortega to find someone or find open space to get the pass off, and then we have a player down. So hopefully that young man is okay. And that's what we want to see across the nation, is everyone being okay.
Well, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more third quarter action after these messages.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stellar Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over $25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
30 seconds to play here to third quarter back at Coatesville. And if you are just tuning in, Harrisburg just got the hold they needed, up 14-0 with the ball on their own 11. Akari Williams in, will give to Plant left side. And Harrisburg really, now they can just be patient offensively as they've been. No big hurry up, 2 touchdowns.
I mean, my thing is you try to find that pedal. And I think that for Harrisburg, you don't want to get out your game. You're controlling the game. You definitely want to try to kill clock. That quarter went by really quick. But man, if you got a chance to put another one on the board, you do it. You can end this game with another touchdown. It'll be pretty much over if you can get another.
Well, that's the end of the third. We'll be back with more fourth quarter after this message.
I got the phone call that every parent dreads. Our beautiful 19-year-old daughter Peyton had died. Sudden cardiac arrest had ended her precious young life. This #1 killer of student athletes and leading cause of death on school campuses attacked our family. Many heart conditions that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest aren't found during routine physicals. That's why the Peyton Walker Foundation provides free heart screenings for teens. Help prevent sudden cardiac arrest in your family Visit PeytonWalker.org.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dolphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Welcome back to Coatesville. It's fourth quarter action. Up 14-0 is Harrisburg. Harrisburg with the ball on the 12-yard, their own 12, second down and 9. Williams is the quarterback. His last opportunity went 9-play drive for 80 yards and a touchdown right before half, and that's who he connected with. His carry. It appears that when Williams comes in, a whole new team of receivers come in. So it's like they're working two different offensive specialties. So, I mean, I don't know if you noticed that, but that's who they've connected. That is right there. That's 10 for 10 together, the two of them.
Right,
connected.
right. I mean, I think, you know, again, you're going to have each quarterback has different strengths. So, again, now it's 3rd down and 7, and this will be a big time for Coatesville to make a stop here, get the ball back so they can put some points on board.
3rd and 7. Williams rolling, looking downfield, throwing. It's going to be incomplete. He wanted to hit Day, but Dupree had to shake that one up.
Yeah, Dupree, that was a good defensive play by Dupree. And now we get a chance to see the punting game for Harrisburg. So far, this punting game has not done so well, and just good defense there. So Harrisburg has to find a way to get a good punt off so that they can, you know, so their defense can get a chance. I mean, these punts have not been great for Harrisburg so far.
4th and 7, that means Carey's going to come on to punt for Harrisburg under their own 14. Is there going to be a timeout? Harrisburg's going to take a timeout with 11:49 to play. We'll take one as well. We'll be right back with more after these messages. Harrisburg had to take a timeout. They'll be punting. They had Carey on to punt. Coatesville getting an opportunity here with plenty of time on the clock, down 2 touchdowns. I mean, they can strike pretty fast. Just got to get something going here in the 3rd quarter, Jerome. Or 4th quarter, excuse me.
I think the problem is they haven't so far. They haven't strike fast. Even in the drive that got them down in the red zone, the last drive, that took off so much time to get down there. So this Harrisburg Cougar defense has really gone bend but don't break. They haven't given up any big plays, really. The big plays have been penalties. So far, that's what's been going on. Much better punt.
Better than it's been tonight right there. Dupree getting a chance to cross the 50, the 40. On his feet, the 20. And he fumbled it late, and then it go out of balance. And boy, did Coatesville get lucky to have the chance to recover that.
But look where the punt return got them. They are in the red zone, and you were looking for the big play for this Coatesville team, and you just got it. Dupree takes this almost to the house, and now, once again, Coatesville's offense is in the red zone solidly.
And then the crowd is awake again, feeling like thunder and lightning in the Red Raiders. They have a blackout going on here tonight, and man, it's thumping now.
And Wigfall almost blew this entire play up by getting his hand in and stripping that ball.
Ortega. going to keep it himself. Trying to bounce outside. He's going to find the corner. Touchdown, Coatesville. Make it 103. 103 career touchdowns for Ortega. And that's going to wake up the blackout, the crowd that's here now. Coatesville on the board after a great special team play. And Archie, you mentioned special teams. Somebody had to make a play. This is going to set this 6-yard touchdown up. Archie?
Guys, you can see every kid. There we go when we talked about the younger kids stepping up, the younger guy, the sophomores, the junior. Every last one of those kids, this is when you get in the game. This is when you have to make a play. If you can see that wall for Dupree set up was a well-executed wall, but as Jerome said, it almost, I was thinking the ball was going to roll into the end zone from my point of view, but somebody was able to recover it, which was a young kid stepping up and making the play.
Hazard set, Pierce Hazard. The snap is high, it's going to go over the head. They're going to have to fall on it. Man, that is a big break for Harrisburg Cougars.
Yeah.
We'll be back after these messages. Up 14-8 Harrisburg.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Capital Region Insurance Agency, 717-731-1142.
Erie Insurance.
Well, high snap is the difference in that missed extra point. 14-6 Harrisburg. Archie, some of those little things. One great special teams play and a bad snap now has you down 8 as opposed to 7, man. And little plays like that, little make or break things that happen in a football game.
It's always, remember, like Jerome would tell you, and fans all over the stadium know right now, football game is won on all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, and the most important is special teams.
No doubt about it. I knew there had to be a play somewhere on that special teams. One good negates one bad. High snap, it was recovered. Harrisburg getting the ball back up 8, and I'm telling you, I mean, they're doing some nice things. They'll probably come back with John McNeil now. They've been taking each drive is a different drive.
Well, Harrisburg's kick coverage team better be careful here, or return team, because this will be a good time to do an onside kick. So that front line better be ready, because this will be a good time to do that. You're talking about the momentum is trying to shift. Coatesville's trying to shift this momentum, and if they can get a turnover here, this will be huge.
Crowd behind it crazily right now. It's taken by Plant. Plant kind of slowly going across the 30, and Harrisburg will have the ball. 11:21 to play, the 30-yard line. Momentum shifting a little bit back and forth.
So again, you'll see, which quarterback comes in. Probably McNeil. McNeil's, the last time he was in the game, he had a very, very good drive that scored a touchdown. So again, he's coming in the game now. That offense seemed to go very well. Williams, not so much on this drive, had his own touchdown drive before. So let's see if they can get back into rhythm. And Coatesville, can they ride this wave of momentum that they got after the score?
1st and 10 in the 30. Plant to give across the 30, 35, 40. He picks up and moves the chains. Lemire Brown, defensive lineman, he goes 210. Look at him come backside here, chasing down. Stays with it. Boy, that's a nice hit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, they had good leading the way. Number 55, Tyshawn Black, 6'1", 290-pound sophomore on the line. One of the things about that big offensive line, there's some young guys up there that are paving the way for some offense, and they're doing a good job. That was a good play on their part.
You like what you see coming up. Coatesville at Cumberland Valley is our next game, September 6th, and PCN. Game of the week continues next Friday at 7 p.m. Bethlehem Catholic takes on Bethlehem Freedom. Catch the entire game on cable and stream with PCN Select. Visit PCNTV.com for the whole schedule. 1st and 10, ball 41. McNeil overthrows. Well, for a minute,
They're going to
maybe
call that an incomplete pass.
That's going to be incomplete. You've got to be so careful. You know what? It's just a habit. How many times have you heard coaches just to have it cover up just in case?
Yeah, this.
Where's the line of scrimmage at?
That was a backwards pass.
Archie, I mean, is that a forward pass?
Guys, from the beginning of football until like the last 3 years, that is a fumble all day. I do not like that rule whatsoever. It's what it is. If the receiver, if the ball is coming in between, in the front of his hand, and he drops it, it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
But it's behind the line, so to us, it looks like a fumble. I think that was a fumble.
Give was to Plant, and I mean, it's getting stingy on the defensive side. Lamar Brown coming up to make another big play. Look at Lamar Brown, and tell me if he is not next level size.
Yeah, I mean, he's good,
210.
decent size at 210 defensive line. I mean, you know, you see guys a lot bigger, but for its high school defensive end, that's not too bad. But again, this defense has really tightened up for Coatesville. So Harrisburg has to figure out a way. They started out good with the big run, and now they're backed up.
Williams taking his time, 3rd and 13. Looking downfield, has a beautiful catch and pitch to Jameer Plant.
The poise of McNeil.
Exactly.
I think that's what you see, his poise. You know, you're a 3rd and 13, a momentum changer. He just sidesteps and just delivers a ball. Plant just wide open in the middle of the field. He finds him. Keeps the drive alive for Harrisburg and the clock going. That was a huge play.
And
that was huge.
It was huge. And did you see one great thing, just so fundamental of a play? Plant knows he's in the middle, covers up strong, so there's no fumble. 1st and 10, ball on the 45. He'll put Kent in motion, jet sweep, Kent, right side. Taken down and wrestled down by Quadir Jacobs. He only picked up 2 on that play.
It was good to see Kent come back in. He was having some cramping issues. So again, we want to make sure that those players across the nation are as healthy as can be. You know, this is a contact sport, so you're going to have injuries. As we talked about at the beginning of the program, with Harrisburg's linemen going down in camp. So hopefully we can have across the state, in particular, minimal injuries.
And you hear so many times, hydrate the night before the game, not just the game. Hydrate the night before. Ball to Wigfall. Wigfall coming in the game as a receiver. I mean, how about this? Let's play a little defense, come on the other side.
But what you're seeing is the poise, the poise of McNeil that he's showing right now. He's delivering the ball. He's letting his receivers do the work, you know, and he's delivering the ball on time, let them do the work, find the open guy. Good play calling right now, and you're keeping the clock moving right now.
Very effective. Now, they'll be on the road for 3 straight weeks. They go to Archbishop Hoban in Ohio next week. On the road is Harrisburg. And, man, here they are up 8. 8:02 to play the fourth quarter. 1st and 10, ball on the 27. Kent in motion.
And that was just good, solid defense.
Counter?
Yeah, it was a counter play, but good, solid
counter
defense.
play, but the defense was all over that. I don't know, Archie, I didn't see a counter all night, and I thought that's a kind of good call, but how about the defense on that effort right there, knowing and recognizing that was coming?
Well, you can see, man, you got the crowd behind you, you got the coaches over here. Everybody is rooting the Red Raiders on right now. These guys know this is a big stop to not let Harrisburg put any points on the board right now.
And you saw big Quadir Jacobs, number 50, in the middle of that defense, made a really good play, being stout inside.
So it's 2nd and 8. Plant is put in motion. He'll swing out, cross the 30, makes one miss. Second one comes up 25-yard line, and Stewart will come up to make a tackle for Coatesville.
And this has been the money down for Harrisburg on this drive. I mean, they've had multiple 3rd and longs, and they've turned them into 1st down, and they've kept the drive going. And they're just doing a good job methodically keeping the drive going, keep getting 1st downs, keep the clock moving. And right now, they got at this point, they got the right quarterback in at the right time right now. So let's see if he can come up with another big play on 3rd down and keep this drive alive.
It's 3rd and 9. Coatesville needing a big defensive play, 6:30 to play. Ball on the 26-yard line. There's the Harrisburg staff. play action. Oh, missed in the backfield. He stays on his feet is Williams. And, man, I tell you what, he was down for good. Man, he made a great play.
McNeil gets upfield, and he just catches, takes what he can get at that point.
Yeah.
So now it brings up a 4th and about 6. So you saw that pressure coming on the outside.
Yeah, John Ruttman came up through, and I mean, he had him in his grasp almost.
He really disrupted the play, and again, they're not going to let McNeil just sit back there and pick him apart. So it was a good play on his part.
Press box pounding. The shaking of the stadium right now. The Red Raider crowd trying to get behind and get this stop. 4th and 6, 5:46 to play, 4th quarter. McNeil, backside incomplete. Coatesville will take over, get the ball back down 8 with 5:40 to play.
And that was a good defensive stand for Coatesville. They had more than enough time to do something with this football and do something offensively. So McNeil just didn't put enough on this. I think the play call was good. It was open, it was there, but McNeil just didn't have enough on that ball.
So the Red Raiders will have it on their own 23, 1st and 10, 5:40 down 8. Their extra point was a high snap. Ball went over the holder's head and kicker's head, was recovered. Harrisburg got it. Great drive. Killed a lot of time, but they give the ball back with plenty of time for Ortega and in the Red Raiders. Shotgun formation from the 23. He's got twins left, trips to the right. No back. Flags are down on that far left side. Ortega dump off. He's out of bounds, though, so flags on that back side. Archie, you know if there was what the call might be.
It looked like it was going to be a screen, so I don't know if we have the left side of the line going down the field, and Ortega seen that it wasn't there, which made him scramble to the right. So interested to see what this call is going to be from the refs right here.
Well, PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, bringing you key matchups across PA all season with Game of the Week. Don't settle for just the local games or highlights. Every Friday, watch the whole game live on cable and stream with PCN Select. So go to PCNTV.com for the schedule. PCN's Game of the Week continues next Friday live at 7 p.m. as Bethlehem Catholic takes on the Bethlehem Freedom. Catch the entire game on cable and stream with the PCN Network. Visit PCNTV.com for the schedule. 5:32 to play, 1st and 15, Jerome.
We got an illegal procedure on Coatesville, and again, they're going backwards. You have an opportunity. Defense holds, doesn't allow Harrisburg to put any more points on the board, and now you're going backwards, 1st and 15. So that's not what you want with only 5:32 left in the game. These mistakes, you can't let them hurt you, and in this situation, they're getting more and more valuable.
Coatesville backed up their own 18, pumping right was Ortega. Ortega dump off, incomplete. Intended receiver was Hall. And that'll be a...
And Harrisburg is just doing a good job at times of taking the offense out of rhythm by their pressure. And they're making Ortega move when he doesn't want to move. And the receivers aren't ready for him to move. So he's put in situations where he has to make plays. And when it breaks down and he can't, it's not working. So again, you got to credit Harrisburg for their ability to do that. But again, he's not really in rhythm, hasn't really been in rhythm all day.
So it's 2nd 15 from the 18. Ortega, plenty of time. Pressure, dumps, and he'll be sacked. Just a coverage sack. Good defense all the way around.
And that was a cover sack, like you said, and it was interesting. You said plenty of time, and then it wasn't.
Boom.
And then
Just
it was
like that.
Right when you said it, they got clear to the blocks, and then you hear, number 21, Shaquan Carter Barton on the play. So you had time. There was time there, and then all of a sudden Barton comes in your face and gets off his block, and there you go in a big, big defensive play for Harrisburg.
I mean, there's a flag down, and I think there's holding on the Red Raiders side, so that's going to back them up further.
Well, now they're in a very bad situation because they're getting really backed up. And if you're Harrisburg, I mean, if you're Coatesville, you may have to play it safe just so you can get a punt.
You're right.
At this point, you are in a situation that is dangerous for you, that Harrisburg, any kind of turnover could be a touchdown. So you got to be very cautious here and just do something to just get yardage so you can punt the ball. Because if not, you're in a bad situation here.
Here's the setting. You've got the ball, as you see, 3rd and 30 on your own 3 with 4:58 to go. Harrisburg just feeling it right now. Archie, I mean, this is a bad place to be when you're the Red Raiders.
You see a little adjustment on the defensive line for Harrisburg. They brought some rushers in. They brought some quick guys. They took some guys out.
Yeah.
And Archie said this, that Harrisburg has been rotating guys, regardless if they're young or not. They're rotating guys in to give guys a breather, but you have fresh defensive linemen in right now that's going to come after your quarterback, and I would do that too. You want to go after him. If you're going to rush 4, you get the freshest 4 you can get, you say go get him.
Well, what was interesting was that last play, guys, was after the play, which was a personal foul on Coatesville.
Wow.
Now that backed them up to the 2-yard line. So now you say that this is a critical 3rd down. So if I'm Coatesville right now, I'm not trying to get it all back. I know I have all 4 downs, so I'm not trying to get the whole 30 back. So if it's 3rd and 30, I'm trying to at least get 15 to 16 and have 4th and 15 to have it.
Right. And, you know, Arch, you said so many good points, but there's 15 penalties on Coatesville's side now at 130. I mean,
and 27 for both teams. That tells you what kind of game this has been when it comes to penalties. I mean, it's the quintessential first game. But on that defensive front, the only other original player is Shaquan Carter-Barton that's still in on that defensive front.
Got him some back, and then we got another flag. It's going to be another personal foul.
Ortega's pass complete to number 2, Bryant.
I don't know if this will be a personal foul on Harrisburg this time. We'll see, because something was happening on the back end.
Was it a chop block on the
something was on the
side?
back end. And I'm not sure.
What in the world, Archie? You have anything down there on the field for us, man? We're just trying to get it straightened out here. Blocking it back.
Decline. Yeah, you'll want to punt it.
You don't need it. Back it up. It'll be on the 3-yard line. It backs the punt up.
I know me. I'm going after it.
There's no doubt about this.
I'm going after that.
Everybody. That white on white.
I'm going to say everybody because you don't want him taking off on you, but they'll play it safe. The good thing is you have field position. But again, that's why I'm up here.
Everybody out.
That's why I'm up here. Yeah, you want to throw all 11 people.
All 11.
Let's go after them. But again, this will give you field position. So I think Harrisburg just going to play it safe.
Nice punt. He gets a good punt off. It's going to take a roll.
That's why Coach Calvin is the coach, and I'm here.
And same as I'm being up here too. So
he knows. He knows. Hey, I'll play field position, get the ball back. We got good field position. I'm sitting there, go after it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm here.
It's a good punt. Those are situations that can be so dangerous early in the high school football season.
Yeah,
especially early. And you got a great athlete back there punting the ball too. The guy does about everything. Dupree Bryant.
Oh, and believe me, Dupree Bryant surveyed the field.
Yeah, he looked.
You saw him look around. He didn't just initially punt there. He's like this. Can I use my little speed here and get something?
Yeah.
But again, you had to get 30 yards against a very fast Harrisburg group. So now we got Williams coming back in. We saw what happened with McNeil. McNeil has done pretty well too. So we'll see Williams, see if he can get himself in the rhythm. What are they going to do? They're going to run the ball probably to kill clock.
Williams gives to Plant. It looked like an almost dangerous little exchange, but not much there. Harrisburg might be content by just trying to give Williams 3 straight touches here, or Plant 3 straight touches here, just to see what they can do to kill some time. There's 30 on play clock, 4:25 to go. They're going to run as much time as they can and try to get that snap off at about, 4 maybe? 19 on the play.
Yeah, you grind it down as much as you can. Force Coatesville into a hurry up. They only have 2 timeouts. Harrisburg's taking their good old time right now.
This is smart. I'd be very careful about putting this ball in the air.
Yeah, you put it up when you have to. I think it's one of those situations where you get the third down, you may want to put it up to see if you can get the first down. But other than that, they may just run it and just punt it and see if you can pin them back. The last drive, Coatesville hasn't done anything offensive.
Well, we'll have a timeout. We'll be right back after these messages.
This is an education that focuses on your child's unique interests. It's taking field trips and making friendships. And it's what a modern-day public K-12 education looks like. This is Commonwealth Charter Academy, and this is how school should work. CCA is an online public school available at no cost to all Pennsylvania families. Learn how Commonwealth Charter Academy can work for your family at ccaeducate.me.
It'll be 3rd and 8. 3:53 to play. Ball on the 41. So this is, I mean, big old play for Coatesville to get the ball back. Crowd starting to just again pick up. They know what's on the line here in Coatesville. We just what? Williams looking downfield, has a receiver, and he had him. I mean, he had him. He had Day all the way. They beat the secondary. What a, boy, they just took a chance at it. What a great call.
And we were waiting to see Williams open it up, and you saw him open it up. This could have ended the game right here. What a play. This was right on the money. Little underthrown, so the receiver had to go back and get it. So that's where Dupree Bryant, who's a good defensive back, was able to make a play.
So it's 4th and 8. They'll take it. Well, they'll bring, okay. Smart, they'll bring Carey on the punt it.
And I think Akari Williams is the long snapper.
And we'll do it all here.
Uh-oh.
Kept it and picked up the first down. What a great play.
That is Calvin Everett saying, we want to win this game.
Exactly.
We're winning this game. That was a gutsy call that we're not going to put it in to Coatesville's hands. We're going to win the game. So what do? Trayvon, Carey, you survey the field. If it's open, you use your speed and you get the first down to keep the drive going, and we control this outcome, not put it in Coatesville's hands for their offense to control.
Let's go down to the field to Archie Smith Jr. Archie, what a great play call at a time when you are on the road against a cross-state rival. Send a message.
This is how you do it. You believe in your players. That's a real executed play, and we just talked about the game is won on all 3 phases. You just don't have to kick. You just don't have to return. It's how well you execute on special teams. That was a well-executed play, well-executed call.
Plant making a great play. And what a statement here. Plant, when you need him.
Look at that offensive line. Let's talk about it again.
Holding blocks on that offensive line.
Let's talk about it again. And then we got a pancake on the back end of that. I'm not sure what number that was, but we got a pancake on the back end of that. So again, Harrisburg is, exerting their will up front.
Big Nate Bruce, 6'5", 325 on that left side. You see Bruce there. And remember, they're without Brandon causing the knee injury. Give to Plant right side, just grinding and pushing. Coatesville needing everybody really to stop this momentum.
It's first down.
Ball's on the 17, and it's going to move the chains, and that's a first down. White jerseys, Harrisburg moving the ball with Plant.
That's the one thing about Jameer Plant. He's very shifty, and he's strong. At 5'9", 175 pounds, he gets low behind those big horses. And again, Harrisburg's line is huge. They're a big group. They can move people. They're young. They have some young guys up there, but they're a big group.
2:28 to play, 1st and 10. Harrisburg well in control now. Ball on the 14. Plant going to grind hard. Wrestled down by Brathmeyer Connor there on that tackle.
Jameer Henderson, number 51, Tyrell Young, number 54, Tyshawn Black, number 55, Nate Bruce, number 64, and Roy Ivan Irving, sorry about that, number 74. That offensive line, you got to give them a lot of credit. These guys came out and they played. And again, let's look at them. Henderson's a junior.
Right.
Young's a sophomore. Black's a sophomore. Bruce is a junior. And Irving is a sophomore.
6'3".
And they're
the
injured. They have an injured player who's very good too. That's a junior. So that offensive line, they came together a little bit
sure
today,
did.
and they're big. They're a good sized group, man. It's 235, 245, 290, 325, 295.
Well, next broadcast presented by Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency will happen Friday, September 6th. We're on off week next week. Go Coatesville at Cumberland Valley, 7 o'clock p.m. on ABC 27. And if you like all these matchups, PCN Game of the Week also continues next Friday live at 7 p.m. Bethlehem Catholic takes on Bethlehem Freedom. Catch the entire game on cable stream with PCN Select. Visit PCNTV.com for the schedule.
And Coatesville went into Bishop McDevitt and came out with a win. Cumberland Valley did.
Look at that. And I know the final, Susquehanna Township loses a tough one, 16-7 in Manheim Township. So running hard forward and with a lot of energy was Keith Gregg. Gregg getting an opportunity here late to carry the ball.
And some of the scores you just talked about, the Manheim Susquehanna Township. Central Dolphin loses to Wilson, which is always a big battle between those two. Chambersburg area puts one on Greencastle, 56-13. Milton Hershey is blanking and really beating Anvil Cleona 35-16 with the Spartans. You have Manheim Township 43-6 winners over Central Dolphin East. Hollidaysburg 35, and Altoona came back a little bit to 21 in that game.
Craig staying on his feet out at the 2-yard line, and they're looking to put one in here again with 1:19 to go to put the nail in the coffin. 1:19 to play.
And I'll tell you what, Todd, this is a big win for Harrisburg.
Man,
if they can come out of here with this win, if it holds, this is huge, and it puts the Mid-Penn on notice. They're going to go to Bishop Hoban next week, and they're going there with a lot of momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things about being on the road a lot is the camaraderie you build, man, because you with the guys, man, you're on the road, you having fun, you're laughing, you're cracking jokes, and having a good time. So this will be a big, big win if they can pull this out.
Craig, not much there. It backs him up and lost. Harrisburg, as you said, Archbishop Hoban in Ohio, they go on the road all the way to Ohio next week. Week after at Cedar Cliff. Doesn't stop there. The next week after that at CD East, and they finally have CV at home. So, I mean, that is a tough schedule, but this team looks already veteran. They're I'm telling you, offensive line-wise tonight, hats off to them, the all-steel mill team they make tonight. Defensively, I thought they lost a lot of people last year, but, man, do they still get after the ball.
But we thought they lost a lot of people the year before.
Right.
And then they came in last year and reloaded and really turned out a good team. And now we see the Cougars are going to – they put it down, and that's going to end the game. This is huge for them to come in here and win this game. And I'm not sure. I thought there was more time left. I guess because of the time and putting the ball down, it's going to end the game. This is a huge win for Harrisburg.
Man, how about it?
I don't think people gave them credit. Many of the pundits thought, as good as Harrisburg has been, yes, they're good. They can't come in here and beat Coatesville and Coatesville. They just looked at them and said, no, that's not. We're still the Cougars of old. We're still the Cougars from last year that won the Mid-Penn. Won District 3 and made it to the state championship and almost got a chance to win a state championship. And then they came down here to Coatesville, where this place has been packed, and they're going to put a loss on Coatesville. So I tell you what, they put everybody on notice.
They sure did. They're up. They win by 8 and hold on and come on the road and beat a good, number 3 team in the state. Number 10 wins it. Here, we'll be back with post-game and a wrap-up after these messages.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 3 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stadler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and introducing the all-new Genesis of York. The Giambalvo family of dealerships. Over 25 million in new and pre-owned inventory, with unbeatable service after the sale, too. There's a reason the Giambalvo family has been a part of your community for decades. Find out why. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 3 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
This month only, the heat is on at Hoffman Ford. We must sell 100 new Fords, so we're turning up the heat with our biggest savings ever. Take up to $6,000 off MSRP on a 2019 Ford Escape SC, or 0% financing for 60 months, and up to $3,250 off MSRP. Over 50 in stock. Don't go anywhere else because
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford in Harrisburg.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships.
Well, welcome back. You see it right there. The victory huddle, the end of the game. Harrisburg wins on the road versus Coatesville. They're 10th in the state, taking on the number 3 in the state. They come away with an 8-point victory, 14-6 on the road. And I tell you, Jerome and Archie, Harrisburg did some really effective things tonight.
Well, they overcame so much.
And as you look, guys, overcoming these penalties, here's the Pizza Hut play of the game. 4th and 8, game on the line, and look what happens. Trayvon Carey, the senior, takes the ball, picks up the first down, and that right there, that prevails the win.
Yeah, that ended the game. It was a gutsy play call, and it was one of those read situations. If you see it open up, you take it. If you don't, punt it, and that's what you saw them do. And that was we're winning the game call. That was
exactly.
We're not going to put it in Coatesville's hand for them to win it.
And you know what? And Archie, there were so many things you said talking about players stepping up, but really when it came down to our Hoffman Ford player of the game, we really couldn't do one. And we just thought so importantly about the quarterbacks tonight at Harrisburg. And did they not only do the things they needed to do, they cheered each other on, and they both had effective drives in their touchdown drives.
Yes, what you see right here, man, and if I'm Kyle Everett right now, I'm in a great spot. I mean, any coach in the state of Pennsylvania would like to have 2 starting quarterbacks right now. The thing about it is these guys, both teams rallied behind both of the guys. Both guys took care of the ball. That was very interesting.
Turnovers, you're right.
No turnover. Those guys took care of the ball, and the team rallied behind both of the quarterbacks.
And that was a big thing that you said, Archie, is that these guys came out, and neither of them hurt you. They both put together scoring drives. They both were effective. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. And actually, it could have even been better if you didn't have the touchdown call back. So they did well.
So our Huffman Ford player of the game's 2 of them, Akari Williams and John McNeil. And our next broadcast presented by Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency will not be next week. We got a bye week ourselves, guys, but next Friday, or the Friday after, September the 6th, we have Coatesville again on the road against Cumberland Valley. Cumberland Valley, we find out tonight, was victorious 21-7. They only won 3 games last year coming, and they beat McDevitt by 14. That's a statement win. If I'm Coatesville, I'm feeling a little dangerous going on that road against Cumberland Valley, just the fact that, Cumberland Valley brings it, and they were hungry. After losing 3 games last year, I'm telling you what, them Eagles are going to be ready down there.
Hey, also, I think Coatesville is coming in with a chip on their sholler because remember 2 years ago, they went down there and lost on like one play. It was one play that was a determined factor, 21-22. I mean, a 1-point game, guys, and those guys are going to go around now. I know Ortega going to go down there wanting to beat Cumberland Valley in his senior year.
But, guys, guess what? Football's back.
We want to just take a look at how this game prevailed. I mean, Ortega just going to bounce it out here to Dupree, and look, getting on that ball, making something happen as the Harrisburg Cougars both teams really got after it. Give a lot of credit to the Red Raiders and the Cougars. Good defensive effort, good offensive effort, but in the end, 2 quarterbacks and Carey making the difference. Harrisburg coming away 14-6. And what a great game. And this right here, great throw, touchdown catch today, making the difference. On behalf of the Invicta Productions, ABC 27, the PCM Game of the Week, I'm Tom McCall. For Archie Smith Jr. and Jerome Presley, have a great night. See you in 2 weeks.